All right, everybody. We are gathered here yet again to have technical difficulties right out of the gate. There we go. And we are here for Curse of Strahd, session 16. This session is entitled Unholy Blood. And we'll see if we find out why by the end of the session. Uh, all right. So we're going to do a little recap here. We had I wouldn't say an action-packed session last time. It was a little bit of a shorter session, but I really enjoyed how the story moved forward, and there was some great character development moments that kind of happened at the end. Is everybody good on sound? Can you hear me okay? Hear background music okay?
Yes, we can hear the music. It picked up a little bit. We can hear you. Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, just stop me if music isn't there or gets too loud or whatever. Okay, so last session in session 15, you guys found yourself in the care of a elf named Casimir, whose sister, he said, had told him that you needed help, and he had met you in the forest to the west of Valaki after that really horrible night, the night of the festival of the blazing sun, where you saw Count Strahd go full vampire and basically destroy a church. And Van Richten, Professor Rudolph Van Richten, showed up and helped you guys escape. And but you got out of Valaki with Father Lucian, and Casimir met you and led you through the night to this settlement to the west of Valaki, a settlement shared by the male survivors of his elven tribe with a group of Vistani that are loyal to Count Strahd. He told you the story of his sister Petrina, who was they're both fairly powerful spellcasters, but she was apparently even stronger than him. And she had gone to Castle Ravenloft to beseech Strahd. She had heard about his curse and thought maybe her people could help him, but she never came back. She came back one more time, which he got to later as he was explaining things. He told you about a place in Barovia that's still there. The ruins of it are still there. A place called Argenvost or Argenvost Holt, named after a silver dragon named Argenvost, who used to rule in this. I should say rule. Used to protect Barovia before it was sort of Strahd's Barovia, and the knights that served under the silver dragon were, really the protectors of this land until Strahd decided that he wanted to possess this land after a long war career as a warlord, and came into the valley, managed to defeat the knights, kill the dragon, and basically solidify himself as lord of this land. And this all happened before he ever, as far as you can tell, became a vampire. So, like I had mentioned, both Casimir and Petrina were powerful spellcasters. They mentioned something about learning magic from a powerful archmage in this place called the Amber Temple, far to the south of Barovia. He also said that that is where Strahd learned how to become a vampire, and he wants to go there. You guys remember why?
His stated reasoning was he wants to gain the magic needed to defeat Strahd and resurrect the dead people in his tribe of elves.
And specifically, he wants to bring back his sister, who he's responsible for killing.
Yeah.
She came back to their village after being away for a long time, and she had been corrupted by Strahd, had been bitten twice by him, and had come to invite Casimir to the wedding, where she would be bitten a third time and turned into basically a full vampire that would serve as Strahd's bride. And Casimir wasn't going to have any of that, so he destroyed his sister to free her. So angry was Strahd that he sent his chamberlain, Rahadin, to the village. And this is almost 400 years ago, according to Casimir. And you guys remember what Rahadin did to the tribe?
Slaughtered him and then cut Casimir's ears off,
Mm-hmm.
which is terrible for an
Yeah.
elf. Their ears are their like their pride.
Yep. And specifically killed all the women and children of the tribe. So they're a broken people. You know, they have no hope of ever defeating Strahd or getting revenge on Strahd. They just live their nearly eternal lives in this cursed land, and their Casimir called the Vistani that look over them his jailers. Even though he did tell you different generations of them have been kinder, the current generation is very loyal to Strahd. The man who leads them is a man named Aragol, who sort of rules the tribe with his brother Luvash. Um, and that was kind of the him catching you up on everything going on there. Um, he wanted you guys to he understood that you have other things to do. Maybe you're not prepared yet, but before you attempt to go face Strahd, he wants you to go with him to the Amber Temple, where there's going to be items of great power that can aid you, he said, spell books, scrolls, things that you might need if you go to Castle Ravenloft. But he wants your help to redeem his sister. And then Nico decided to go on a little solo journey up to the tents. And Nico, you kind of remember what happened when you got up there and we're talking to
Yeah,
Aragorn and Luvash?
they were torturing a nanny, a dude nanny. So broken stereotypes all over the place, but they had somebody yoked up, and they were all in a fit. But I got to the bottom of it. What had happened is they had lost a child. I believe it was Aragol's niece,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep, Luvash's daughter.
So, yeah, and we followed the trail investigation. We got the entire. I think I sacrificed like 2 or 3 inspirations on this thing.
So did I.
Yeah, dude, and I even took one of Zock's. Thank you, Zock was very
Two
kind.
of mine.
Thank you very much. Yeah, or Dr. Crawford, very kind. And so it was kind of a village search effort, but we tracked them down to a lake at the corner of the woods here, and she had been kidnapped by none other than Rogar's best friend forever, Bluto, the fisherman. So she was in a rowboat with him in the middle of the lake. Rocky, you want to take it from here?
Yeah. So you guys, and I'm so grateful you did use this inspiration, because if you had struggled to find them, you would have found them after the fact. And you would have found Bluto catching a bunch of fish and her body gone. So I'm really happy you guys saved her. That was wonderful. And that interaction didn't go anything like I thought it would, which you always love as a DM. Rogar, you kind of spoke up for Bluto, man, and kind of convinced everybody that he's a victim of these dark powers that are whispering to people and telling them to do these evil things and corrupting them. And Arabelle, who is gifted with the vision, like Madame Eva, she looked at him really hard and said, well, no matter what we do, he won't survive to the end of the day. And so she kind of gave up on being mad and saying he has to be brought back to her father and all that, because she saw that he was going to die no matter what. And so y'all let him go, right? And he told you something, Rogar, as he left. Do you remember that?
I think it was something about underneath his house or whatever, there would be a gift for him if we ever made our way back to Vallaki. So
yeah.
He thanked you for that beer that night. He said that was the nicest thing someone had ever done for him. And we ended the session with you guys going back to the village and reuniting Arabelle with her father and uncle, though we didn't really play that part out. And what we'll do here is we'll say there's this grand celebration that kind of happened. Everybody's super happy. The people are dancing, they're playing instruments. But for some reason, you guys don't, you're kind of the guest of honor in a way, but they're not really interacting with you guys very much. And let's just have a moment around the fire. The fire's crackling. You guys are kind of huddled together as a party. And let's just go down the line and walk all of us through either your thoughts, or you can say what you're thinking to the party so they can interact. And we'll start with Disdain.
Can I do both? I'll start with something. So
Inwardly, I'm seething that I didn't get to witness his death. And I don't want to say that to Rogar. Then outwardly, I start saying to people, I'm glad how much we were able to save that girl. So many pieces of shit around here just looking to sacrifice children. This is disgusting.
Yeah, Rogar, you want to respond to that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we saved the girl. I feel bad for all the people here that's dealing with all this stuff. Makes them do crazy things.
Okay, all right, Dr. Crawford.
Cropper is mainly worried about the professor at this point. That he might be he's probably the person who's on the top of Strahd's most wanted list right now, and we are, and it's evening right now, right? Where we are.
Yeah, so it's actually been you know, uh, if you recall, Van Richten said meet him at the tower. The tower, because like we said, you guys are right here where this marker is, and he said, meet him at this tower. Dang, hold on. Over here, in 3 days. And so you realize kind of now it's like that wasn't completely clear on. Is that 3 days from now? Is that 3 nights from now?
Yeah, so we gotta, after, it's probably too late to do anything now if it's evening, but tomorrow we gotta haul ass.
We gotta hustle.
Yeah. And aside from that, are we somewhere where we could talk discreetly without anybody really hearing us?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And we're not in the middle of a wizard's workshop, so I don't need to worry about like freaking clairvoyance or some stupid nonsense. Nico, this is in character. Nico, when we were back in Vallaki, and we were talking with Rictavio, you mentioned something about a curse that was on him. A something Vich curse. Are you familiar enough to be able to tell me more about that? I'd never heard of, when I knew Rictavio, he never mentioned anything about that to me.
It is a very old song with my people, but Rictavio, Rudolph and Richten, the professor, he had a son named Erasmus, but he happened upon upon a situation where Erasmus was taken from him and he was sold into a particular tribe, a particular task of Vistani, and he was then passed on and sold on further. So when he pressed the issue, Van Richten came across this dude. The name escapes me right now. Hold on, what we call Avardo, and that is a wagon of our people. And inside, he found the very tribe that he was looking for, but it was not what he thought it would be. Erasmus was not there, and so he slaughtered the entire coven. In fact, rumors swirl around this, saying that he enlisted the help of the undead. That voices called out to him and said, I will help you slaughter these Vistani and claim our son, and even find out spells to use to find out his location using. There's a spell that you can make dead people talk, but I do not know of these. So it's very strange to me, but there is a curse upon him that everyone that he knows and loves will die, and he will witness them die. So that is the curse of Rudolph and Richten among my people. That is what is passed out.
That's very interesting. And on a side tangent, our current hosts, is their tribe task, were they involved in this at all?
They were not. They were not. It was a different task. It is actually, believe it or not, it was my task. Different tribe, but it was my task that was involved in. This is why I feel a certain affinity to
What was the name of your task?
It's the Bohm task.
The Bohm task.
Yeah, Naiad tribe is what I belong to. The Naiad, and the Cordova tribe is the Cordova tribe is what took him. The Cordova are a very deceptive tribe. You cannot trust them within a stone throw.
Understood. Thank you.
But the
And-
Naiad, all we want to do is help you fist fight bears. You know, we want to.
What you
Yes.
remember too, Nico, is that the Cordova, right? Cordova. I always
Yes,
think
the Corvada. Yes.
Corvada tribe. As far as you know, they were wiped out by the rage of Van Richten.
They were
As far as you
indeed.
know.
They were
Yeah.
indeed. The wrath was immeasurable.
So, but the Rotavio, the professor, so he is doomed to watch the people he cares about die. Is that what the
He
curse was?
is, and there is another story along this line. I do not know completely how it ended,
That's fair,
but
yeah.
he teamed up with a member of with a Vistana from the same tribe of the Korara, and he taught him the ways of our people. So if anybody understands us from the human realm, you will meet no one who understands the Vistani the way Rudolf van Richten will understand this, because he took us through multiple events of meeting the various tribes and tasks. He wrote it all down in this script, and it was beautiful. But this one man, allegedly, once he finished the journey with this man, allegedly the curse was lifted, but no one is to know for sure.
And I call him the future professor, the one that I knew, the one that Disdain knew, and the one that you'd heard the stories about, that we had to put down in the Durst dungeon. He had the curse lifted, but the professor that we're meeting soon doesn't. Am I
It would
understanding this all
appear
correctly?
this way. It would appear
Right.
this way. It would.
Then I think I may know a way to save the professor, but let's hope he
Please do
agrees to
too.
it.
And since you engaged me, I have to say, you have all seen this before, but before Madame Eva's session, where she read to us the Tarroca, this is the Prastonata, and I am sitting around talking to a bunch of you, which I would prefer. For the first time I've ever witnessed the Prastonata and not been involved with it. And I've not cared to be involved with it. But the Prastonata is dancing all around us, and I'd rather be here with my friends, and I consider you now family. And I love each and every one of you, and I am so happy and content in this moment with all of you. No matter what comes next, my tribes dance all around me, but I would rather be here with you. So I thank you.
You considered me a friend, Mr. Terada.
I do.
Thank you.
The dearest friend.
The feeling is mutual, and Dr. Crawford kind of awkwardly holds out his hand, like for a shake.
So and Nico's gonna go and spit in it and just slap it right in the palm.
And as
That's
soon
the
as
way
you
we
do
do
that, he just kind of
It's
grimaces
just-
and goes along with it.
It's just grotesque. Like when our hands separate, there's like 18 strings of mucus that are.
Beautiful.
Ugh.
All right. Rogar.
Hmm. What? Sorry.
Your thoughts or anything you want to say?
Oh, I thought I already did. No, like I said, I'm kind of bummed out about my buddy Bluto. He made the wrong choices, but according to the girl, he was a goner either way. So I let him go out on his own way. I'm kind of Rogor's kind of just going with the flow right now. I think he wants to find a way out of here. And he's seen all the love in the air around him, with Nico and everything. So he's just kind of, hears all that and then just kind of nods to the group. But he's kind of lost in thought and just trying to find a way to get out that makes the most sense to him.
Cool. Is there anything anybody else wants to add to the conversation?
Disdain? Nico? Anything else to add? All right.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody's gonna get a point of inspiration. So thank you for the wonderful expressing how your characters are feeling and what they're thinking. So as you guys sit there talking, you watch as the young girl Arabelle comes up to you, and she has cleaned herself up a little bit. She comes up and she has a bottle of wine. It's purple grape mash. And she says, "Well," she goes, "I don't even care if Father approves of this. I'm going to offer you the last bottle of purple grape mash that we have. We've gotten very low. Everybody, all the adults are quite upset about it, but it didn't stop them from drinking what's left tonight. But I think, as my heroes, you deserve a pour if you would like one."
Nico's gonna snap to it and say, Arabella, don't you know that true Vistana, they do not imbibe of such vices? But since you offered it tonight, I believe I will. I have seen many things, and I'm gonna hoist up a wooden cup that I've been carrying around. I will take your first glass.
Yeah, she uncorks it and pours it, and she doesn't know what she's doing with it too. You know, does a little flip, grabs it. No, I'm kidding. But she does
Nico's
pour.
gonna Nick, yeah,
Kinda, go
Nico's
ahead.
gonna take the cork and sniff it first.
Oh yeah,
Yes, I will have it. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So she pours it. She goes, "Well, I don't know about Vistana found outside of the mist, but most of the Vistani here in Barovia drink just like everybody does. Well, until the wine stopped coming." And then she finishes pouring you and says, "Anyone else?"
Arabella, yes, please tend to my other friends. Are we drinking tonight, friends?
I am always drinking, friends.
Drink
Yeah.
with me this night. Thank you.
She
Arabella, also about the wine night coming, this purple grape mash, it is a byproduct of the Wizard of Wines close by, yes?
Yes. Well, it's a cup. It's a good 2 days almost journey to the southwest, but yes, it's where it comes from. But there's been no shipments for quite some time.
You're not the first person to tell me this. Does this concern you at all, Arabella?
I think it concerns
Yes.
everyone. My
Okay.
my father and my uncle, um, they are distributors of the wine. They are. It is part of how our tribe uh, trades. We also sometimes send men and women through the mist to get goods from the outside world and trade with the uh, the Martikov family that runs the vineyard. And all I know is that the adults whisper that if the wine were to dry up in Barovia, it would be catastrophic. Uh, it is one of the only pleasures to be had in this land.
I
I
gotta
see
say,
this.
friends, in my time when I was part of that group of wonderful individuals when I was younger, there was a point that they went dry for about a month and a half, and the hell that reigned between these unpoliced individuals without their ability to escape, we may need to worry about how the next coming towns are going to be if this is going to be a trend.
She says, "Well, I'm just glad I'm a kid and I don't have to worry about such things. Though I do see trouble in the future. I see
Oh,
trouble. I see trouble in all
Arabella,
of your futures."
you're a kid with the sight. Are you kidding me? Trouble is going to find you and seek you out your entire life. I do not envy you, but I praise you for your beauty and your patience and your spirit.
I just hope.
Here's to Arabella.
Does anyone else want to pour?
I'll take a second glass.
Okay. All right. But as she's filling the glass, last bit of wine, she kind of comes back to you, Nico, and finishes it. She goes, "I just hope Uncle Aragorn will finally approve me going to study under Madame Eva. I don't know why the two of them can't get along. Um, Maybe you would let me practice on you. Let me read your palms."
Yeah.
Arabella, it is the very least we can do.
I'd
So,
be honored.
so she says, "Who wants to go first?"
Rogar will go first.
Okay. So Rogar, she has you hold your big clawed giant dragonborn hand out, and she traces it. And I've never read a dragonborn's hand before, but the lines are there. You watch her; she kind of mumbles to herself for a little while, and she says, "Well, I see the power of the sun in your palm, and I need you to roll a 20.
Oh,
Roll a d20." And I'm not looking for a particular number,
Okay,
so I'll
I got
just
you. I got
I'll
you.
just delete that. I don't need a number right now. Just need to know what you roll.
This music is on point.
Okay. So so I need to change the thing. It looks like it's not quite. Here, I'll fix it in a minute. So you roll a 7. So this is how this works. Well, keep that number in your mind. Just for now, keep that number in your mind. She goes, the power of the sun in your hands is enough to perhaps banish darkness from this land forever, but it's also enough that it could burn you away. And then she says, who wants to be next?
I'll reach out my hand and say, all right, how many days does this old man have to live? 2, 3?
So she takes your hand, and she traces it, and she says, I can't tell you how long you have left to live, Doctor, but I can tell you that you were chosen to find the book, whatever that means, because you, among the whole group, have the least to lose, and thus can brave its pages.
That's
And
extremely accurate.
You get to roll a 20 as well.
All right. Just a 20? What do you
Yep.
think?
Just 1d20.
Roll 1d20. 13. Unlucky number 13.
So just keep that 13 in mind.
Okay.
Disdain, she goes up to you next. She looks at your hand and says, great power flows through these hands, and greater still shall come. If you can survive the horrors of this land, then you will taste true power as a sorcerer, both in your inner ability and in the items you might yet wield. But be wary, for the power you may yet wield is still in and of itself not enough. You need your friends. With them by your side, you may yet win. And then she kind of like starts to move on, but then comes back and goes, I see soon a mirror in front of you, a mirror that you have not looked in for a very long time, but it is on your path. And then she kind of like gets this like little kid look on her face. She goes, I'm sorry, I don't even know what that means. And roll a 20.
Alrighty. $12.
Okay, just keep that 12 in mind. Nico, she comes up to you last. She says, all right, well, let's see what we can see here, cousin. And takes a hard look at it, kind of looks back up at you. And she starts to cry. And she won't say what she sees.
Just tell me, Lethal Sister. I know I am riddled with tragedy. Every time I break free of this place, I hear laughing, cackling in my mind, saying, you belong here. No, Nico, you're too little. You're not ready. Tell me what it is. What do you see? Madam Eva could not tell me this. Surely you can.
Give me a persuasion roll. You're going to have to beat a 17.
Okay.
$25. That'll do it. So yeah, she really starts crying, man, and she's like almost like her body's kind of shaking a little bit.
I'm gonna just like hug her and like set her on my knee. I'm like, come on, little sister. Tell me. It is not hard.
Can she whisper in your ear? She wants to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can hear it, but just your characters didn't hear it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Nico, she whispers in your ear and she goes, cousin, when you get to Crash, you will see the wall of mist stretching as far as the sky. You alone in your party can walk into those mists and keep going west and you will leave this place. Please just do that when you get there. Staying here, I see nothing but death if you stay here. Though it is death that will also help save other lives. But you don't deserve that fate. When you get to Kresh, just keep going. You will be free from this place.
Little sister, you do not know what I deserve. That is not up to you or me to call. But thank you for your vision. Thank you for your gift. I will consider your advice. Thank you so much. You've helped me so much. And I thank you for the wine. Is there any left?
No, it's all gone. Roll a 20. A 1. All right. So you guys have each been given a dice of portent. 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 A dice of portent can be used for yourself or imposed on an enemy's roll. It is a one-time use.
Oh,
So
like the
Nico,
divination wizard ability.
correct. So Nico, you can impose that nat 1 on an enemy's roll
For a critical fail.
for a critical fail.
That's so delicious. That is so delicious.
So you guys
At
all
what
have
point
that in
can
your
we
back
impose
pocket.
it? So can we say, all right, this next round coming up, he's got to roll this way, or can it be after it's rolled, but we don't before we know the outcome?
After it's rolled, because the way and I think the handbook says you got to declare before, but
Sure.
I personally I roll in front of you guys, so
Sure.
you can roll. You can say I want to impose my portent die. And,
Sure, got it.
Yep.
Thanks, Rocky.
Yeah, of course.
This is getting juicy.
So the night is starting to kind of wind down. You guys are approached by Aragol, who's he's had a few drinks, and he says, "My friends, please don't stand out here by the fire that is dwindling. Come to my tent, and I will give you due honor for what you've done for my niece and my brother and my tribe." And he doesn't even wait for you to respond. He just turns and goes back to the most luxurious looking tent that's kind of in the center of the deal.
We should follow him, brothers. We should follow him. Now,
I follow you anywhere, Nico.
let's go then.
So you guys go into this tent, and inside this tent, Aragol is kind of waiting. It's more luxuriously decorated. You do. Let's see what you notice. Let's all roll a perception if you have it. If you don't have it, you can roll it at disadvantage. Not looking for a specific number per se, because the higher you roll, the more you'll perceive. I've got to adjust that screen grab. Hold on.
Yeah, quick AFK right here.
Yeah, do your
Sure
thing.
thing.
Super fast.
Okay, so if I'm looking at everything correctly, we've got Nico with a 9, Rogar with a 22. Nope, Rogar with a 9 plus
I
whatever.
got +1, yeah.
Okay, so 10. And then Disdain, I got you with a 7 plus
0, so 7.
So 7, okay. And then we got Dr. Crawford with a 17. So everybody rolled pretty dang low except for Dr. Crawford. Dr. Crawford, you notice when you come into the tent, there are several bottles of wine in here that have not been unopened, including the Champagne La Stamp. You notice there's a couple treasure chests, and just essentially pretty comfortable trappings, despite what you've heard about the rest of the tribe. And Aragol, as you all sit down, he says, "Well, I'm so sorry I've taken so long to call you into the tent, but as the leader, I have to entertain my tribesmen and make sure that they celebrate our dear Arabelle's rescue appropriately. But I wanted to thank you. I'm not a man who's easily impressed, and I am quite impressed with this party. He goes, tell me again what happened to the man who took Arabelle.
I think Rogar should field this question.
Your daughter had said that he wouldn't make it through the night either way. So we let him end it on his own accord.
Niece.
Niece. Sorry.
Lubosh is her father.
Yeah.
So you decided to let him go because my 7-year-old niece said he was going to die.
Yes, lonely old man. Did something foolish.
Well, I can't say that's what I would have done in that situation, but we have her back, so that's important. What did you say his name was?
Bluto.
Bluto. Well, I have contacts in Valaki. I'm sure we can check on Bluto and make sure that what Arabelle saw with her third eye is what happened. And if it is not, we can still find a way to mete out proper justice. I assume you're comfortable with that.
Rogarts just kind of nods.
He goes, well, as leader of this tribe, I owe you. So, what do you think would be a appropriate reward for your service?
Do you have any plate armor?
Plate armor. Well, I do in fact have plate armor.
Oh,
Yes. Would you like that as your reward?
Round table, how do we feel?
above the table, it would be really sick. It would be really sick. However,
If you can't play,
Rogar,
what
what would Rogar do? Because there is a window here for Rogar, and Bluto, and speaking up and being an advocate for Bluto, because there's kind of a life debt owed here.
I don't understand what you mean.
Okay, so yeah, just dude, Rocky, please tell me if I'm in the wrong direction here, man. I don't know what you
Sure.
permit. This is the first time me playing D&D, but like, so we saved his niece from a guy who only was responding to the voices in his head that trained him up to the point where he kidnapped a Vistani's niece. So the his niece said that he won't last through the day, but that was in that timeline. Okay. So say that Rogar was like, okay, the thing I ask is that you spare Bluto and let him live out his days in Valaki. That debt would be paid, but that just depends on how much Rogar is feeling his Bluto's vibe. Like, what if Bluto was lying about the whole thing? We didn't zone of truth the guy. We didn't know if he actually heard the voices. We didn't know if he was a mad serial killer. So, Rocky, tell me if I'm.
How much do we believe in the 7-year-old? Is that
I think what you're talking about there, bro, is how, because you're kind of getting above table and kind of telling him what you think. Totally fine with it to a degree. If I feel like it's getting too above table, I'll call it back. So
okay, yeah. So I'm going to bring it down to the table now. I'm going to say, Argo, can I talk to my brother here?
Certainly, it's an important question. Take your time.
Rogar, this reward that he offers of this plate mail, it is invaluable in us moving forward in our goals. But there's also the issue that the wonderful event that happened, that we actually found his niece alive. And the man that took her said that he was responding to voices. Should we inquire about these voices to see if Arugal knows something about them, if he has heard the same thing from them?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to ask about that, that's fine. My question: are we kind of huddled by ourselves now?
Yeah, you're kind
The
of off to
group.
the corner a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my question would be plate mail would be great, but if he's going to offer that up, then I feel like there might be other things that we could get to.
For your
I
consideration,
understand.
am I part of the huddle?
Yeah, you absolutely are.
For your consideration, gentlemen, uh, there are both those things that we discussed: the plate mail, the Bluto, but there's a third possibility that I think you two should decide between yourselves about, and that's the possibility of just requesting actual friendship, not just a one-time "we helped you, you pay us back immediately" sort of thing. Having somebody look favorably upon you and not wanting to see anything bad happen to you can be advantageous sometimes. A favor of sorts, if I guess if you would look at it that way, but yeah, it's something to consider.
I would agree, Dr. Crawford.
Mm.
The wisdom is obvious here, Rogar. What Dr. Crawford is suggesting is a true bond in the Vistani here that occupies the land currently in Barovia. Looking out for you, looking out for us, a true bond, uh, meaning that whatever information or situation comes across, that they would, they would side for our cause. Rogar, the decision is yours to make. I cannot impress upon you further.
No, I see what you're saying. But how would we? How could we contact them later? Like, is there a Vistani way of contacting people?
Sprint. Just
there is there's
Yeah,
also
it's a bonus action for rogues.
WhatsApp. No.
there's this thing called TikTok. If you make enough funny videos dancing in front of a stupid camera, no, the Vistani have there's a way of contacting Vistani, but I do not know it. So if you're looking at me to contact my Vistani blood currently, I do not know this spell, but it is rumored to exist.
I think Rogar, we're kind of just talking about putting faith into the ether and hoping that if our paths cross again.
Give me everybody who has insight. Give me an insight roll. Try to beat a 14.
Nope.
Help if I click the right thing.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to do?
I think we go with the friendship or the pay us back later kind of idea.
Okay. All right. Is that what you tell him?
Yes.
He says, friendship. Now that is the priciest gift or reward you could have named. The friendship of my tribe is a very hard won. I offer it to few. But within a certain set of restrictions, yes, we can call you friends of the tribe and offer our aid.
And under the
Within certain
tribe of Sorvan. The Sorvan tribe friendship does not come easily. I agree with this brother.
Do you know,
Thank you.
cousin, what the restriction would be on our help?
Yeah, the restriction would be to go openly against Count Strahd's directives, his orders of the land.
Correct. So long as you do not make yourself an enemy of Count Strahd, then you will be always friends of our tribe.
I understand this. Openly declare our defiance of Strahd. That is hard to do, cousin. In these times of want and war and famine, it seems like a very few of the people they are fed well, but the majority they go on hunger, they go on want. Have you observed this, cousin?
I have a responsibility to my tribe, and that is all I really care about. And
And
as a
your
Vistana,
responsibility.
you should also
I
And
do. I do
about
only
your
care about
people.
this. It is only an observation I'm making, but also the fact that Arabella has proclaimed to us after we saved her in the lake that she requests to go to train under the oversight of Madame Eva.
And you hear a female's laughter, and the entranceway sort of pushes open, and this Vistana woman walks in, and she goes, "Madam Eva's an old fool." She goes, "Arabella will do better studying here." And Aragold nods and goes, "Have you had the pleasure of meeting Helena?"
Elena, I have not, but I am immediately captivated. You're so
She
beautiful, cousin.
she holds her hand out for you.
And I'm gonna just sweep it and kiss her middle finger.
Okay, give me a perception roll. Let's try to beat a 14.
14 perception. Got it. All right. Come on, big baby. No, not gonna do it.
She smiles at you and pulls her hand away, and she goes and kind of like grabs Arago by the arm and gives him a little kiss, and then kind of lounges behind him and pours herself a glass of wine. And she goes, "I am not strong in the side like Madame Eva, but I know people better, and I can teach her the basics." She goes, "What are you talking about, Arago?" And Arago says, "I asked them what they wanted as a reward, and they asked for friendship. So I was telling them, so long as they are not enemies of Count Strahd, we will give it to them. So long as that is their final request." And he kind of looks at you guys for a final answer.
Above table for a second.
Yes.
I'll just give you
Yes.
guys like a raised eyebrow thing to imply what I'm going
Yeah.
to say, and that's
Mhm.
the entire reason I suggested this was so that if Strahd sends word, or the bride send word that they want us dead in this camp, that these guys wouldn't stab us in the back, and it sounds like that's off the table. So
Let's get the
like
plate.
yeah, I'm leaning more towards either the plate or you guys trying to somehow save Bluto's life if you think that's worth it. So it's your call.
Mm. I think
think
Bluto's
Bluto's
out of the picture at this point.
Yeah, I think he's dead. Whether we
Yeah.
dead or not, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
So plate. I don't know if we're gonna be able to buy plate.
Like we're because let's be real here. We sided with Professor Van Richten publicly
Yeah.
in the chapel in front of Strahd.
We're
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like, as
We're
soon as
on
he
his
gets
shit
word,
list. We're just right below the professor right now.
But at this point, we're wondering, like, so does it count from this point forward if we don't openly defy him, or if going back, if we've already defied him and are just refugees at this point? Like,
just
So-
gonna say I love Vistani. I just don't think they're up for semantics when it comes to exactly
Yeah.
declaration.
they are most certainly not. They're most certainly not up for that because their entire existence and allowance here relies on Strahd's goodwill, honestly. And this tribe of all, holy hell, like we landed into the Zorvans. So
And to be
Okay.
honest, I'm shocked that there's even plate mail available for him.
oh,
Like,
the Vistani's got what you want.
By the
baby.
way, if we do request that, let me take a look at it before he puts it on,
Mhm.
just to examine
Okay.
it. So
Okay. Okay. I need a.
I mean, yeah, looking around the tent, you see it. I mean, it's definitely looks like a merchant's tent. Like there's all kinds of exotic goods and stuff sticking out of barrels and chests and things like that. So, you know, they go outside the mist and grab and get things and bring them into Barovia and trade them. And
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go. Are we ready? All
Yeah,
right,
go.
we're ready. All right,
Go.
Aruga, the gift, the request of friendship does not only apply to just the friendship of the tribe, but it could apply to the friendship of the pricing and arrangement of this plate mail. That is kind of where we were going with these.
you want to see it?
We would like to see it. Yes,
All right.
all
And,
pieces.
certainly. He walks over and pushes through a couple barrels, moves a couple things over. You kind of have this moment where you're looking, like waiting for him, and then Nico, your eyes kind of drift over to Helena, and she's looking you up and down very hungrily, and then kind of
dude.
licks her lips at you.
I don't like it, dude.
And then he goes, here it is. And he pulls this draped back, and there's like a bust, like a mannequin bust. And it's this massive set of plate mail. He goes, I think I got this for, it wasn't even me. It had to be my great uncle got this 100 years ago on some deal with one of your types that came through here. He goes, you'd be probably doing me a favor to take it off my hands, give me more space in the tent. He goes, but it's good. Examine it, see what you think, and if you like it, then that can be your reward.
All right. I'll step forward then. I'd like to check for 3 things, Rocky, and if I need to make separate rolls for them, I'm okay with that. The first is I want to make sure that this is going to fit Rogar. Rogar's a freaking Dragonborn. He's big. So I don't want to ask for plate mail. I want to find out, oh, hey, the only person who could possibly this would fit in is the guy who uses dexterity.
Yeah.
So what role would that be? Is that going to be
basic investigation with like a 12.
Okay.
Nico's going to sidebar over here and be like, "Oh, is this the outer ghost, the shop of the big and tall, or what?"
Yeah. So this definitely didn't belong to a Dragonborn before, Dr. Crawford, but it belonged to a very large individual, possibly a half orc or a very large human. It won't fit perfect on him. It'll be kind of like, because Dragonborn kind of taper in at the waist, so it'll kind of hang out a little bit from his waistline. It won't be he won't win any fashion awards for it, but it will functionally cover his vital organs.
He won't be taking any sort of weird penalties for it being the wrong size or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Second question, I want to check to make sure this thing isn't cursed or have some sort of other weird effect on it that's going to come back to screw us later. Is that going to be an Arcana check or?
It was an Arcana, but if you're not casting Detect Magic, then we're talking like a really high Arcana, just because you're just using your eyeball to try to figure out if there's any magic in it. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So let's go for a 17 if you're going to roll Arcana.
Okay.
Can I assist him because I have Arcana?
Certainly. So you get advantage and another +1.
Okay, so I'm going to roll twice because it's advantage. Just add 1 to both of these rolls.
Got it.
19,
so that's a 20 and a 26.
Okay. So so you really thoroughly do that. You kind of got disdain over your shoulders, and he's going, disdain, you're almost like trying to feel if there's any magic off of it. And there's not. Like, this is just a really solid piece of plate mail.
Okay.
No magic emanates from it. Good
All right.
or bad.
And then the last thing I wanted to check for is any sort of like historical or cultural information about the craftsmanship of the piece. So would that be like history, just to figure out where this came from? Okay.
Yep. History, and we'll do 15.
And if any of you guys think of anything else you want to know about this piece of armor before we accept this, be sure to let me know. Looks like I didn't pass that one.
It looks like it might be something from Faerun, but what kingdom, what area, you just really can't place it.
Okay, fair. All right.
But you do know that with it being a piece of heavy plate mail, it takes 10 minutes to put it on, and it takes 5 minutes to take it off.
Correct. Yeah. So it might be a good idea to still hang on to your old suit armor, Rogar, for nighttime sleeping and stuff like that. Like, have you been sleeping in the one you've got, or have you been taking that off?
The way I do it,
I didn't know it was an option, but yeah.
So the way I do it, because we haven't had any heavy armor since this campaign started. So the way I do it is it's just heavy armor that you have to take off before your rest, or you don't get a rest. So you do have to. It's called doffing, don and doff. You don the armor, you doff the armor. It's on and off. So you have to take it off in order to get an actual long rest. But it takes 10 minutes to put it on. So you gotta be mindful of when you're putting it on and taking it off and all that, and where you rest and all that. So, but with that said, it is plate mail, and if you wield it, it makes your base armor class 18.
plus your magic item enhancements as well.
And if you use a shield, it adds another +2.
So you got the ring and the cloak and the shield, so that's +4, plus the
4.
armor is 18. That'd be
22.
a 22 armor class.
Okay.
Tanky. Wheezy likes being a tanky paladin. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So Ergo goes, is there any problem with it? Are you going to
No,
change your mind? No.
I'm thoroughly impressed with the work of this. I would say this is a very suitable reward. I see nothing wrong with it personally. Gentlemen, was there anything you were curious about the piece? Or
No, I am satisfied. Just meeting my cousin Aurigal and now my newest cousin Elena. It's such a pleasure meeting your acquaintance, both of you.
She goes, it's my pleasure too. And she goes, please feel free to sleep in any of our tents. Any of our tents. She kind of throws that at Unica.
Oh shit, dude. I would not be tempted by you, temptress. No, I don't say that.
he's got a
Oh,
soft
okay.
spot for the halfling back in the village of Barovia.
No, there's no halfling here. Chick is a vampire, but I can't prove it yet. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying, thank you.
she's
so
looking to suck, just not your.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, not my organ. Wrong organ, dude. So,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
So we're in agreement. The armor.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Did
you
you
so
have
much,
received
Abigail.
the full plate mail as your reward for saving Arabelle?
Oh, you're so kind, Abigail. Thank you so much.
He goes, do me a favor if you want to curry more favor with this tribe. Go pay a visit to the Wizard of Wine's vineyard and see what's going on there. The old man that runs the place. I'm worried that something's afoot. It's been far too long since we've received our shipment.
We may have time to do that in the near future. Apparently, there were some issues over in Wallachia as well with them receiving shipments. So whatever is happening, it's affecting everyone.
It's not a good thing. Wine is the lifeblood of this land, and it only comes from that vineyard. If I was running it, I would have made everyone pay a premium, but for some reason that family makes purple grape mash so affordable even the most lowly peasant can afford it.
Oh, where is this on the map?
So if you look at the map, you guys are right there, and the vineyard would be right here.
Ooh.
So
I
southwest.
see a hit like Bartok and then head over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you
whatever's
guys are-
going to. Whatever's
guys are
going on
here
at Bear
now.
Talk, we gotta do that first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other business with Arago?
No, we're done.
Okay. All right. So where are you guys going to sleep tonight?
Let's all bunk in her tent.
Just
She might be down for that.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to roll initiatives so fast. We want to preserve the spell slots.
Rogar, you got that lesser restoration spell prepped?
Yeah.
All right.
Or we want to go back to the elves' house
Casimir?
and sleep there, Casimir.
The only thing is he at this point, as far as y'all know, they have no knowledge that you've had any interaction with him.
Oh,
So you definitely could, but it would be hard for y'all to hide the fact that you just went into his hut and slept there.
I don't suppose you could put us up for the night, Aragol, somewhere, would you? Just even a simple sleeping situation.
Says
would do.
there's some lean-tos with some pallets outside. You'll get a comfortable enough sleep out there, no doubt. And Helena starts to say something. He just kind of turns and looks at her and says, "You're staying here tonight." And she goes, "Okay." And quiets up. So he says, "Good night."
Good
Go
night.
sleep outside.
Yeah, so you guys walk out. There are some tents and lean-tos. There's some bardos. You know, there's lots of places to sleep. They're just all outdoors, kind of.
No, dude, I so rarely get to sleep in a Vardo. Nico's making his way right to the first Vardo available. He's
Yeah.
sleeping in a Vardo.
There's a group of Vistani kind of sitting around, younger Vistani, and they greet you all. And...
Yep. So I want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, I mean, you guys can sleep where you want. If you want to sleep in a Vardo, if you want to sleep in a lean-to, it's up to you.
I'm gonna huddle the guys near us for a second and say, we have, really quietly so that nobody else can really hear, we have 3 vampiric brides that are after us. Wherever we sleep, it should probably be inside, just for your consideration. How we go about doing that, I guess, would be up to you, gentlemen.
The Vardos of my people, they have many different enchantments against them. They have many different protections. I would suggest if you find your own Vardos and sleep there, you will be safe.
You want to make a persuasion roll to see if you can convince them to let you guys sleep in the Vardos, Nico?
Yes, I would love to.
Cool. Just try to beat a 15.
15. Okay.
I would be willing to pay for it if need be.
They're pretty happy with you guys finding Arabelle, so.
Yeah, they're hippies, man. They'll let us.
Come on, please put out. There you go. Okay.
Okay, so Nico goes and does some sweet talking. He talks to a few of them. Some of them are like, no matter how convincing you are. But enough of them agree that you guys all. In fact, what they end up doing is moving some shit around, and you guys can all share a Vardo.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
hot. That's hot. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys sleep in the Vardo, and anything else before the long rest happens?
Oh,
hold on. Yeah, keep going. Keep talking.
No, I mean, anything else you guys want before I say you get a long rest?
Rogar hasn't donned the armor, so that means he gets a long rest as well. Not that he needs it. I think we already have all the spell slots.
You're all full, I think.
Yeah.
I used the 2nd level spell. I'll take that away. So.
But he has everybody's 100% hit points and all that stuff, right?
Yep. As far as I know.
Cool. Let's see.
I'm actually at 120% health.
You're going Super Saiyan over here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys get a long rest, and you wake up in the morning, and the Vistani, or some of them have gone out hunting. Some of them are still sleeping their hangovers off. But you wake up in the morning, and there's like some community breakfast. It's not much. It's like dried wolf meat and some eggs and some vegetables, really like bland vegetables. But what do you guys want to do? Where are you heading?
Talk.
Yeah. Let's get on.
Going.
We need to move. We're a day behind now. We got to pick up the pace.
Let's go.
So you guys head down to the bottom of the hill. You kind of like have this little moment where you turn around and look back, and you see with his door half open, Casimir standing in his doorway, and he just nods at all of you, like kind of like good luck. I hope to see you again, kind of in his face. You guys get pretty far away. You can still see the hill in the background. It's very far distance away. When from the road that heads to Vallaki, which you have to head up and then head out to go west, comes a Vistani man, kind of a scrawny Vistani man, and he's got a little, musical instrument in his hand, and he's got, really fine mustache, and he's kind of walking up and kind of stops and looks at all of you really closely for a moment, and then if you have insight, I need an insight. Try to beat a 15.
By the way, Rogar, are you wearing your full plate since it's daybreak?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little studying on how that works, but I mean,
you just declare that you donned it at the beginning of the day, or when you have 10 minutes to put it on, and then you got it on.
Basically,
I have it on.
Okay.
Yeah, the big 2 reasons I would think of why you would ever want to take it off are sleeping, and then if you're going to be on a boat. That's basically it.
All right, fair enough.
So you're not a rock in the water.
Precisely. Metal 6.
Yep. All right, so we got a 14 on Rogar's insight. Dr. Crawford, you got a 10. So this guy walks and kind of looks at all of you for a moment and kind of straddles on up and he goes, pulls his lute out, kind of strings it as he walks up. And he goes, "Hello, friends." He goes, "Beautiful morning we're having, isn't it?"
It is the most beautiful that I've seen
He
in a
says,
while.
he says, "You all stayed at my encampment, it seems. I've been away on tribe business and I'm afraid I don't know your names. I am Lucian." And he gives like a deep bow.
I am Nico Tirada, and I am at your service. And these are my friends.
I meant Lucio, by the way, not Lucian.
Gonna say, is this another
Yeah.
past future situation?
Lucian,
No, it's not.
you're the sexiest cleric I've ever seen.
He says, well met. He says, "Did you have business with my tribe?"
There was a little bit of business. Yes, there was. When we arrived here, the camp was in panic mode. We actually helped to find the location of Arabella. It seemed that she had been kidnapped by a fisherman from Velaki, and we saved her. And the fisherman from Velaki, he went off on his own accord, but we saved the girl and returned her to the camp. She is very safe.
He says, "Well, that is a heroic tale. I'm a bit of a bard myself. I'll have to add that to my list of stories I can tell. I have a great story to come back and tell my tribe. A story of a festival that went quite not as planned. And I can't wait to tell Aragorn what they're saying in Balaki happened on that night."
Um, can I cast suggestion?
You can certainly
yes.
try.
You try. Yes, suggestion. Yes. Yes.
All right, so you
Please
need to make a
cast
wisdom
that
saving throw
with
with
a-
DC 15.
This-
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
There's a might be a good opportunity for that portent if you roll badly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I want to know what they're saying though.
So suggestion is kind of a mind influencing spell, basically. He says
Okay.
something and it's almost like a hypnotism.
He rolls.
Alright.
He rolls a 17.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and
So,
dude,
and if I use that portion, did that put it to a 12 without the extras, or
So it would change his roll to a 12. So he rolled a 10.
exactly? So I'm not gonna
yeah,
touch
you
that.
don't want to do that. Yeah.
so I'm gonna go ahead and change his roll to a 1.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Okay. So you change his roll to a nat 1, and he is fully in your power, Disdain. 'Cause of
Go
what Nico
disdain.
did.
Hey, don't make him kill himself, and then the rest is fair game.
No killing himself. So the way that this works is it's an 8-hour concentration,
Yeah.
right? So, and anything I say within a reasonable thing. So basically, I want to say that Velaki is actually under well and good, and nothing has happened there, and that'll give us an 8-hour head start on.
We don't have to worry about them chasing us through the freaking woods to Baratok.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Alright.
Yeah. Well,
Is there
yeah.
a better suggestion I should use, or I think that's just Velaki's well and good?
That's
Sounds good to me,
So,
man.
so I got to challenge you only in how, because I got to go off the spell. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the spell says that you suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two, and you influence a creature to do that. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. So you can't say stab yourself, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So he failed his wisdom saving throw, and then it has to be one of those things that it can have a finish point before the 8 hours. So you can say walk until you meet a soldier and tell him that you surrender or whatever, right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
But it'll go up to 8 hours as long as you continue to concentrate on it. So what is your actual verbiage? What do you actually say to him as part of the spell?
All right.
Has to make it sound reasonable, and it can't be something that would cause him like self-harm or something like that.
What about something like?
You should head to Barovia and tell that tale.
I should go to Barovia. It's a grand tale. The people of Barovia should hear this tale. I think that's where I'll go. I think that's what I will do. And he just turns around and starts walking the opposite direction.
Nice work.
16 hours. As long as we don't get in a fight.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Well done,
Dude.
Disdain.
So we think, dude. This is Rocky DMing. So
No, I'll just straight up tell you that just saved you so much trouble.
That's awesome.
That was so clever.
Okay.
You guys deserve to know that you just saved yourselves a lot of
Okay.
trouble. Okay, so you guys are now kind of free and clear to keep moving west.
Let's go.
So you guys head west, and as you head west, what you notice is that even though it is daytime and it's early in the day, the days are getting darker and darker, more covered by almost like a misty sky, where the sun barely seems to shine. And you move through the woods, and this road is, I won't say it's well traveled, but it's well traveled enough. You go for, I mean, unless you guys have something specific you want to do, you go for that full 8 hours, man, where like you feel the spell leave you because you concentrated on it for 8 hours and it just disappeared from your mind. So you know that it ended and whatever. The guy's 8 hours away, so he's got 16 hours to come back. So you guys keep moving. You eventually find yourself at this crossroads, and in this crossroads there is a sign that points back the way you came that says Vallaki, and then a sign that points further west that says Kresh, and then there is a very, very narrow worn path that leads north towards the area you know as Lake Baratok.
Okay.
Crash is where the Wizard of Wines is. Yes.
South of Kresh and southwest of where you currently are.
Okay.
So just to give you the geography, so you guys now are I guess you guys could have, so I said you guys were here. I guess I more or less meant you were, long story short, you're here right now.
Okay.
Crossroads.
All right.
And,
so Lake Baratok is the. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lake Baratok is over here. Kresh is here. And then the Wizard of Wines is here.
Okay.
So you guys right now are right around. You're a little further. I don't like the map's not completely accurate, so you're like
Sure.
much further away than this looks. But you're at this bit of a crossroads right now.
Okay.
Does the sign look like it's accurate to the map? Like, or we're not walking into a Bugs Bunny situation where they switch the direction to the
Yeah,
signs
and then when you spin it around, it actually says Albuquerque.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's accurate as far as you can tell.
Okay, all right.
So Lake Baratok, is that the tower where Van
Supposedly
Richten?
the tower is at Lake Baratok. Yes.
We've got to go to Lake Baratok.
How many days has it been since we
Day and a
talked to
half.
him? So we're about almost 2 days in. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta double time this.
In character, I'm going to say somebody should inspect that path to just see if we've had any other travelers.
Want to do a
Sure.
survival roll?
Oh
I
Lord.
can-
Oh, I have survival. I can do that.
Who's got the highest modifier to survival? Because we should probably have them be the primary roller and the rest of us assist.
I've got plus
five.
3. I've got plus 3.
5 from
Okay.
me.
But you
Yeah,
have.
I will
that
help
skill.
Doc. I will help Dr. Crawford.
Same.
Okay, so I'll roll and then.
But you
I'll be-
can't help if you don't have the skill.
Yeah, I
I've got
have
the skill.
Okay.
I've got the
Okay.
skill.
Yeah.
I've
So-
got plus 3 in the skill.
I got advantage and I'm adding 2 to it. So I'm rolling
Advantage
twice.
and 2 more to your modifier.
Second one didn't go through. Hang on.
Okay, well,
Okay,
25.
So that's a 25.
Okay. So this path has not been traveled in a very long time.
Okay. So at the very least, we're ahead of Rictavio if we're. So that's probably a good indicator because it means that we don't need to book it and travel by night. If it gets to the point where it's difficult to see, we can break camp and we're not going to feel like we're behind and we're failing the guy that we're supposed to be helping out. So
Yeah.
all right. So we're all in agreement then, Baratok?
Veritalk.
Let's go.
Yep.
Baratok. All right,
Baratok,
let's head
let's
for as
go.
long as we still got light out, and then when it gets dark, we'll
That's
break camp.
And
Okay.
just above the table, what a little known fact about Vistani is they can make fire out of wet anything. So if it comes to a point where we got to make camp, I can just declare Kiryag and I can make a fire spring up from anything. So
Do
Okay.
any of you guys have anything in your inventories that we could use to hide our tracks at this point? Because once we get, now that we're at this crossroads, if the Vistani are chasing us, they might assume that we went to Kresk. So if we hide our tracks going down the road towards Lake Baratok for a while, they might miss us if they're chasing us. So
But,
anything that we could use to.
Could we take my chainmail and just drag it behind us?
Could I use Gust?
it make me more of a path. I mean, could we do a prestidigitate on the vegetation?
Well, if
Rocky
I
You
will
use
be
can,
first
you
ender.
can, and I'll let you guys do a combo of all that, but it will dramatically slow down your travel time.
Okay. We need time is what we need more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
I'm
keep
just
going.
I'm just thinking if I just drag the chainmail, it'd be like dragging like a baseball field. You can't tell if there's tracks down there.
The trade-off, though, yeah, it'll remove tracks, but it'll also make it look like something was sort of dragged over it. It won't look like a natural. But that's okay. I mean, I'm willing to let you guys do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know there's going to be a time cost.
Okay.
I think we need time more than anything, and we can just stand watch, understanding that we have this advantage, knowing that they're coming for us at least now, and knowing that we have brides and them at us. At least
Yeah.
we
Oh goody. Yeah.
at least we know they're there. It's better to see the enemy than the vampire that jumped at us last time.
Also, just a little known fact: dragons breathe fire, so there's that. Carry on.
All right.
That's a good point. Okay, so we're just gonna run into the woods, Rocky. I think.
Okay. Book it. Now, we going at a fast pace, a medium pace, a steady pace.
How does that work with the plate armor? Does it affect
Well,
it too much?
Well, if you go at a fast pace and plate armor, I might throw an exhaustion check on you at a certain point. But you're really strong. What's your strength
18.
and what's your constitution?
15.
It would take a lot to wear you down, dude. You're like an Olympic marathon runner. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
You're
And
literally
power
superhuman.
lifter.
You're a dragon.
Yeah.
So,
And
Yeah.
plus, as soon as we step into this off-beaten path, I'm just ripping into a power ballad, and I'm just giving them inspiration, bardic inspiration.
Love
Every-
it. Love it.
I've got inspiration for Disdain, Crawford, and Rogar.
Like
Okay,
Eye of
hold
the
up.
Tiger.
That only lasts for 10 minutes, though, right?
Yeah,
I
it
wouldn't
does.
do that. I wouldn't do
No,
that.
not
though.
yet.
Let's
not
hang
yet.
up until we need to make another skill check. Like
But
if we
dude,
come
the-
across another
the way
sign to
Rocky-
inspect.
The way Rocky does it though is he does it from
Look.
the frame to frame though.
You're
It's
in
like
a
if-
character here, right?
You get too
you
meta,
can't worry
bro.
about the DM.
No, but here's
Just go.
but
I'll use that meta against you if you let me.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you-
no, but
you can't
you
speak the
already
meta,
have though, because like we went into an inn and I was like, "Can I do inspiration here?" And you're like, "It's too late. It's too late. You should have inspired him before you
So,
walked through the door."
It
So,
kind of
like-
depends
That's
on
true.
the skill
That's
check.
true.
So when
Yeah.
we're in the middle of a conversation and we're talking and he goes, okay, roll me a persuasion to see if you convince this guy. At that point, yeah, it's too late. But if we're coming up to like a chest to where you're like, okay, Crawford, try to pick the lock on this. And you go, can I give him an bardic inspiration for this? Because that would be you pulling out the Luke and plucking it while I'm working on the chest. It's kind of perception of time as us with the players and Rocky is the DM. So
Well, let me
I
be
don't know.
clear. You can give them the inspiration. I'm happy to let you do
Yeah.
it, but after 10 minutes, it goes away. So what you're really saying is you think something's going to happen in the next 10 minutes.
And personally,
Which
I'm
it
more on the
could.
end Like,
It could.
I agree, but personally, I'm on the end that like Zox got me so paranoid that I think once we get to this freaking tower, we're gonna have like a full army, and it's gonna be like Helm's Deep. We need that then. Like,
there's gonna be orc sappers and everything here. So
it's
yeah.
gonna be crazy.
Okay, so yeah, I'll walk it back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll
no.
Don't be sorry. I just
I do not.
I just want to make
jam.
sure you understand the cost. So, okay, so you guys head north, and I'm assuming fairly steady pace, maybe it's faster at times, but you keep moving through these woods, and they get thicker and thicker. Trees get bigger and bigger, and we do get to the point where it is getting very dark, and you're probably only. I mean, you could probably push it another 8 hours and get to your destination, but you would be traveling in thick woods at night. But that choice is yours. So, do you want to make camp, or do you want to push through the night?
So how long in actual time have we traversed these woods in thickness?
It's
at
been
this
about 12, 14 hours since you left. the
Damn,
camp.
dude. Let's dude. So I'm pretty sure given like 8 to 10 hours on this dude going back to Barovia. I'm sorry. What's the
Okay.
village?
Barovia, yeah.
Village
You went
of
8
Barovia.
hours.
Barovia. Yeah, Barovia. Okay, Barovia is the land. It's also the village. So yeah, this guy made it there, told the tale. There might have been some
He did. He no way he could have made it, bro, because Barovia is way further than 8 hours.
It took us multiple
But-
days to get from.
But that's
Barovia to
how.
Milwaukee.
But that's
Okay.
how long the spell lasts. So he went 8 hours. The spell went out.
Clicked off.
He was like,
Okay.
"Wait, what the fuck?" And then he made his way back. So that bought you
And-
16 hours. You and Disdain doing that to him bought you guys 16 hours. So
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You want to make camp?
Yeah.
Make a
All right.
fortified camp. We got to be ready for getting jumped by 3 brides. So
Okay.
all
All
right.
right.
So this is where we're gonna take a bio break.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, I gotta remember. Okay, hit record again. I missed your Jesus joke. Sorry,
Yeah.
everybody.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so back to brass tacks. You guys have a long rest, but only barely. Throughout the night, you hear wolves howling. You hear strange noises. A couple points, you even thought you saw eyes looking at you in the dark, yellowed eyes.
during
But
the
no-
night,
Mhm.
would there have been an opportunity for me to have taken out the Strahd journal, and I would have taken another one of those books from my inventory and like put the book inside the book so they can't see the cover of it to see what it is. But I would like to start trying to.
I
some
thought
information out of
you
the
would
Strahd journal.
never ask.
Okay. So at the what's his name, Casimir's workshop, I didn't trust the guy. I didn't know what sort of like
Mhm.
clairvoyance he had set up or anything like that. At the jail, I misunderstood. I thought they took all of our stuff. It was just our weapons. So that was my bad. This seems like the first real opportunity we've had to where we're alone and I can start picking at this book to try to figure something the F out. So
All right. So the way this works, Dr. Crawford, is you will roll a 1d20, and
okay.
this will represent hours of deciphering the shorthand that Strahd used to create this journal.
Now, is this a straight 1d20 or is this an investigation check?
Straight 1d20.
Straight 1d20. Okay. 9.
A 9. And there's no good or bad, by the way, on this 1d20 when you do this.
And I'm taking the kind of care with this like somebody would if they're trying to disarm a bomb. Like I'm worried about like poison contact inks. I'm worried about like glyphs of warding. This book scares me. So I'm trying not to let it kill me while I'm doing this.
Okay, so let's unpack something because I want to make sure you understand exactly, which everything you just said is beyond reasonable. I would be feeling the way Dr. Crawford's feeling holding this book. But what you get the sense of as you hold the Tome of Strahd is that the book itself, there is some magic to the book for sure that you don't fully understand, but it's not like a curse kind of magic. So you don't get the sense this book's going to hurt you directly. But the knowledge in this book is an intimate knowledge of Count Strahd. It's his own words and his own musings that he
This is
meant
an
for
invasion of privacy. Yeah.
he meant for no other eye to ever see this. And so as you read it, your heart's beating like crazy. but it's because you are looking into the mind of this incredibly dangerous and powerful man who has lived for many centuries. And where you finally decipher a story out of his shorthand is a story about a group of barbarians that lived in the mountains to the south. Strahd tells the story of these Gakkus barbarians who,
Okay.
when he first came to the land as a warlord who had for many, many decades had a campaign of conquering across the land, finally decided that Barovia is where he would build his castle and solidify his rule. And it was in this area around Mount Gakkus that he discovered this tribe of barbarians. And he managed to nearly wipe them out with his men after he defeated the knights of Argynvost. But after he became a vampire, and he had been in power for nearly 50 years. He was still fresh to his vampiric powers. A barbarian survivor of this tribe challenged him to single combat for lordship of the land. And Strahd, as a new vampire, a master tactician, a master swordsman, and somewhat of a powerful spellcaster at this point, laughed at this young man who had come to fight him with nothing more than a spear and wolf furs. And they faced each other at the base of Mount Gakkus. And to Strahd's surprise, this young man drew blood from him. He killed the guy. He killed him and snapped his neck. But so impressed was he with this man's skill that he buried him with his spear in the ground. And for some reason at night, Strahd dreams of this spear being able to harm him. He has dreams where shadowy figures wield the spear and draw blood from him and harm him. And he thinks to himself, perhaps he should go dig up that young man. He drew even a little map to where the man's tomb was south of Mount Gakkus. But as far as you can tell from the journal entry, he never did so. He moved on to other things.
So it's south of Mount Gakkus, not on Mount Gakkus.
Correct. It's on the base of Mount Gakkus.
Okay.
Near something called the Solinka Pass, which leads into Mount Gakkus and the Emperor Temple.
So we have a potential pit stop once we start heading up to the Ember Temple.
And it might be on the way if you go to the Emperor Temple.
That could be useful because that spear, if Strahd is correct and that spear was the reason that guy was able to harm him, that would be another tool in our arsenal to hopefully get through the Ember Temple without us getting a TPK. So, I mean, the frickin' Amal and what's his name, Olaf the Butcher, both thought the Dark Powers lived there. That place is one of the two scariest places in this setting to me. The only other place that's up there is Castle Ravenloft. So, yeah.
I hear you there.
The valuable information derived from your study of the Tome of Strahd.
Very nice.
You can now see why Madame Eva said it was one of the key things to defeat Strahd.
All right. Do I get a sense like what percentage I'm complete with the tome, or is this kind of just an
5%.
indefinite use? Okay. 19 other tidbits of information, huh? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that would be it. So you guys get a long rest, and in the morning time are able to continue your journey for another 6-7 hours. And I wanted to show you guys this picture. It's not 100% accurate, but I thought this was a great picture to describe what this tower looks like on this lake. You see this, where the forest ends and the lake begins, there is this very long, narrow, partial dirt, partial rock, partial sand, partial like barricades made of wood, but it creates a sort of bridge that leads to this little island in the lake. And you see this dilapidated tower in the center of this lake. So what do you want to do?
Rogar, my brother, it is time to put on your plate mail. Yes, I will help you.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Thanks. I'll
This,
forget.
and as I'm latching up the backside to pull it taut, I'm saying, you really need to cut down on the carbohydrates. Nobody knows what those are, but the Vistani know. They are sugars that make you fat. You're
haven't
fat.
I haven't had sausages in a few weeks.
I am saying that you're fat, and you need to cut down on the diet.
Don't talk about the sausages.
You're fat.
Okay,
This thing's
so
immediately triggered. Like,
I think that's Rogar's new point of life is to trigger him. I think that's what I'm gonna do from now on. All right, so we're correct me if I'm wrong, we're like 2 and a bit of a day since we talked to him last.
Mhm.
Okay, so I
Yeah, so you know it's going to be tonight or tomorrow that Van Richten said to meet him. So you just don't know when.
let's go. I vote. Let's go.
Let us go carefully.
All right. So you guys come to this sort of land bridge sort of area here, and you just need to walk across this narrow walkway if you want to go to the tower.
I think this may take us about 10 minutes to get through this.
No,
It looks like
no,
it could
a
be
minute,
some
a
kind of a
minute. I
gauntlet.
mean, yeah, it's just narrow and long. I mean, you'll just, it just takes you a minute or so to get across it. But
once we're at the base of the tower, I think it would be a good idea.
Okay, but there's this voice that tells me that it is a
okay,
trap.
it's up to you.
Let's go. Let's push forward.
Okay.
No, it's hold on, time out. Is this like a rickety bridge type thing,
No.
or is it just
No, it's
like
a land
No,
bridge.
it's like a land bridge. Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect description for it. It's a land bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go.
Okay. So you guys make your way, and there's some narrow points. It's about 10, 15 feet across. But as you guys get closer to this tower, you see, to your surprise, your great surprise, a very elegant, and you know this, Nico, from a glance, a very elegant, perhaps the most besides Madame Eva's you've ever seen, Vardo. And it's just parked kind of it's kind of like a little hill that runs up to the tower, so not exactly like the picture looks, but it's sort of at the base of this hill outside the tower.
This Vardo is inlaid with gold. Gold on the steps, gold on the wheels, gold on the sides. It is beautiful. It is old. I've never seen something like this. Nico, I can tell you, would RP this, like he's got to check it out.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
All right. So you want to go give it an investigation?
I do.
Okay.
I'll go up there with him. Yeah.
Do you have investigation?
I do not have investigation
Okay.
at all.
All right.
No.
Because it's a Vardo and you're familiar with their construction,
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay. All right, so I'll check it out.
And I'll assist you because I do have
Okay.
investigation. So
Okay.
That's 2 advantage, which cancels out your disadvantage and gives you actual advantage. If I understand
That is
this
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I do
And a
not
plus
have
one.
I do not have investigation. I do have 2 points lingering in it. So does that mean I roll a d20 plus 3
Correct.
at
And you
okay,
roll the
at
d20
advantage?
twice. Yep.
Okay.
That modifier that's on your character, I think, is just your stat, like your intelligence, and then
Oh,
your jack
got
of all
it.
trades.
Okay. Yeah, that's got to be jack of all trades for sure. Yep.
Okay. So this is so you roll an 18 essentially because you rolled a 15 plus the 3, so 18.
Okay.
So and you avoided a nat 1, which is great.
Okay.
That's
great.
So what you discover is several interesting things. Number one, it's locked tight, like it's locked very tight. You do notice that where the horses would be hitched, there are magical runes, and there's still what looks to appear to be a leash for horses that's just sort of in a little pile on the bench. How thorough do you want to investigate this thing? You like looking at it all over, just from the outside? What do you?
Yeah, all the way. I want to look at the magical runes on the ground, and also I want to check the door to the Vardo. There's
Mhm.
only one. I'm looking for to see if my knock spell would be able to penetrate this Vardo.
Yes, it would.
Okay. And as far as the magical runes on the ground, can I investigate those?
I could do an Arcana check on them.
Yes, do that,
Okay,
please.
so you're like, hey,
let's just do
Disdain, can you?
Disdain,
can
I
you,
have
Dr.
never seen
Crawford,
this. Yes, I've never seen this. This is strange.
Okay. So let's do. Okay, so I've got, just to make sure I'm clear. So you're gonna cast knock on the door and open it, while you have Dr. Crawford and Disdain sort of investigate the runes on the front.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's start with them. So let's do a 15. It's good. Let's do a 15.
So, and that's with
Okay.
advantage.
Advantage
With
plus
advantage. Yep, an additional +1.
Not 20.
Wow.
one. Nice.
Oh,
Very
come on.
nice, Disdain.
All right. Well, if you're gonna roll an at 20,
That's what I'm talking about, Disdain.
Okay, if you're gonna roll an at 20, hold on, I'm gonna give you something extra.
Oh, we like extra.
I'm gonna give you something special.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Let's see
So
what this
it-
voice is. Yeah.
When you read these runes, and they are a combination of some really old magic, and they're very conjuration based. And as you read these runes, you realize that these runes will indeed summon some type of horse that will draw this Vardo. What you would not have gotten had you not rolled the 20 are the words to summon and dismiss the horses. But with the 20, I will give you these magic words.
Oh.
If you say the word Drovash, it will summon these magical horses. If you say the word Arvesh, it will dismiss them.
Oh wow. What was the
Wondering
second
if
one?
Arvesh.
Wondering if the professor beat us here.
All right.
Nico, you cast knock on the door and hear a click. Now you cast knock, or you play the song that
I play the song.
Belfast
It's much more
taught you.
gentle. Much
Yeah,
more
you play
gentle.
the song, and after you play it for about 30 seconds, you hear a click.
And I'm just gonna nudge the door open with my shoulder and step back to the base of the to the ground. Honestly,
Okay.
I'm gonna reel back on the steps.
Do you have a perception roll? Do you have perception as a skill?
I do have perception. Yes.
All right, give me a perception roll.
There it is.
The gods are with you, my friend.
Oh, yes.
As you nudge that door open, you hear a clank, clank, and you just something in your instincts just make you grab the door. And
Okay.
you peer your eye in, and you see hanging by strings dozens and dozens of vials with a strange powder mixture in them. And your door just barely touched them because you only got it open a few inches. But had you let the door swing all the way open, they would have hit each other and broken and created some type of effect.
Okay. My brothers, let's be careful here. There is something behind the door. There is something hanging from the roof of the Vardo. Can anyone help me in identifying what we should do here? Dr. Crawford, what do you know of these? What do you know of these things?
So I'm going to investigate this. This sounds an awful lot like a trap, and that's kind of what I built this character to deal with. Let's see here. So I'm going to investigate to fully understand this and figure out a way to disarm it. Well, before I do that, I will say, I'll say, gentlemen, just to be clear, when I received my training as an archaeologist to deal with situations like this. It was for the purpose of delving into dungeons where everybody's dead. This, Nico, isn't this somebody's house?
This is, and they would be, from the looks of it, they would be very, very sad if it was to go boom. Despite the way they rigged this, they do not want this to explode. So
Give me if you have insight, give me an insight and beat a 15.
All right.
Because when Nico says that kind of sparks that check.
16.
That's a history roll.
Ooh.
Okay, so it says history, but that was your insight.
Oh.
Wait, shit. Did I click the wrong thing? Let me make sure they're the same. Insight is +5.
Cool. You're good.
History is
+5.
Yep, yeah.
Okay. Rogar, how about you? Not gonna do it. All right. So Dr. Crawford, yeah, okay. So when he says that about yes, it's their house and they'd be really upset, blah blah blah, you go, well, then why would they rig it to explode? And you go, oh. So if you had to choose between your home and something you didn't want anyone to get a hold of, maybe information or items, that thing that would be protected by destroying your home must be very important.
Yeah.
So whatever they're trying to protect must be important.
Gentlemen, would you like to come back to this after we've explored the tower, or do you want to figure this out now? I have a feeling whoever this belongs to, who I'm assuming is the professor, is here. Maybe it would be better if we just talk to him and say, hey, what gives?
That would be great, because even though I'm very athletic, and I would remind the DM that I am very athletic, I don't think that this would be a good thing to continue to pursue this course of business. Let's go to the tower. Let me remind you of this time that I once found myself in the jaws of a giant crocodile, and I'm going to play this song, and I'm going to give inspiration to Disdain, Dr. Crawford, and Roman.
All right. So three of you have a D10 or D8?
Oh shit! I think it's a D8. Could it be? Yeah, it's a D8.
It levels up eventually. I just didn't know when.
It does. It's D8 though.
Yeah. So you guys have an additional D8 to add to D20 checks, or it's a one-time use, right?
It's a one-time use. Yep.
Cool. All right.
So just above table, we're leaving this carriage alone right now.
Yeah.
Let's close the door, but yeah, let's make sure that the trap is rearmed, yada yada.
Okay.
This is protected by the Viper Security Vardo alarm. Let us move forward. There's no chance. There's no chance in us breaching this.
All right.
Kind of want to take it for a spin, but
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
next time.
Disdain. Does this new spell that you've learned does it apply only to Vardos, or can you just summon something out of the Nether?
I'm
and
assuming
ride
it's just for this particular Vardo.
It is
This
just for the
particular-
Vardo.
Okay. Oh,
Right.
that kind of
I'm
sucks.
assuming
Yes?
if I knew more on conjuration, there'd be a way for me to use those to break into it, but I don't have that kind of skill. I'm not a
It
wizard.
would be so cool. Hey, this thing would be so
I just learn stuff I see.
You
I'm
get
not
pretty
fancy.
kill if you did.
cool. Summon something and just write it off. You know, this would be great. But let's
it.
go to the tower.
So you guys go past the Vardo, and you get closer to the tower. And if you have Arcana, give me an Arcana 13 roll.
Mm.
Duke.
Okay, got a 10 from Dr. Crawford.
The rolls have been god awful these past few sessions.
Got 12.
12
don't
from
worry.
this thing.
Can they not do the inspiration roll on those?
It's up to them.
You know what?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to
look
use
at
my
that.
bardic inspiration. Thank you for reminding me, Nico.
Then, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just jamming over here, and you
So,
just.
I'm going to be honest, man. That was just me being an idiot and forgetting. I should have rolled that with it. I'm sorry.
So that
Yeah.
becomes a 17 for Dr. Crawford.
Okay.
So
I'm
Dr.
going to
Crawford-
chill with mine.
Okay. So Dr. Crawford, as you guys walking up to the tower, you feel this funny feeling, and you've handled magic objects, ancient magic objects. You've studied magic, even though you're not a spellcaster. And as you look at the tower, you get this like weird sensation in your body that you have felt before. You remember holding onto a stone from an ancient Cholton civilization when you were studying in Candlekeep many years ago, that you were told by your professors that taught you was basically enchanted to suppress magic. And as you walk towards this tower, you feel like there is some form of magic suppression that is happening close to it. It's very similar to that feeling you had when you held that stone all those years ago.
I'll reiterate that to the group, and then I'll ask Rogar, would you be willing to keep a close eye on Nico and Disdain, just because if this is a magic suppression field, they may be at a disadvantage when we go in here.
No, just nod. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So you guys get up to the door, and you're surprised to see that this very thick door has no like doorknob or anything. I mean, it's just a door in the wall, and there's this like kind of, it's exactly what you see on the screen actually. This is the door to the tower, but there is no doorknob.
What the hell is that on the screen here?
Is it a knocker? Is that a knocker?
This is not a knocker. This is very bad to anyone who wants to knock.
Oh, thank you, Rocky. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are people. The little etchings on the side are people. What the heck is that thing in the center?
Dancing. Seems to be like a particular dance to walk in. It's like you start at one position and you work your way to another dance.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. Now the question is, which one do we start at? Okay, so if we assume that those are squiggly lines that indicate a series of steps, there's two different positions that it could start from. Now, is there anything here that would indicate which one we start with? Because there's the one that's
It's
like,
what you see on
like
the screen.
this, and there's the one that's like this.
Yeah, it's what you see on the screen.
Let's say it's the YMCA, and let's start with the Y.
Okay.
Okay.
So what?
All right. So I'll get in front of it, I guess. Gonna try to make sure that the camera is so you can see it.
All right.
Like
Okay.
perpendicular arms.
Yep.
And then down.
Yep.
And then up.
Okay.
Doing this, like the Tetris block. And then perpendicular again.
Yeah.
And then down.
Okay. When you do that, you hear a click, and the door opens a few inches.
Disdain, we did it.
And disdain, and Dr. Crawford inspiration.
Yeah. From now on, we will call that dance the dance of the village people, because we are from the village.
So are we talking like
Oh my
Strahd
God.
was into TikTok? That's what I'm seeing.
That's the
Strahd's a TikTok
TikTok.
fan.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So the door is open a few inches.
Oh shit! I was already talking on inspiration. Damn.
I mean, just real quick above table, you guys figured that out way too fast.
That's awesome, dude. I'm still reeling. I love it.
Good catch with the freaking lines, man.
No problem, man. As soon as you said people, I'm like, is that a dance? Like,
It's Canada, dude. They're on the up and coming, man.
Okay. All right. Refocus. All right. Back to business. So we got Spooky Tower. You said the door clicked. It's it's unlocked. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll push it open. I guess being ready to pull back, but yeah.
Nico's just gonna spear him out of the blue and be like, "Dr. Crawford, no!" And he's gonna take him to the ground.
Okay. Do you really?
I do that.
Okay.
Okay. So is that an athletics roll?
Do you want to resist it, or you want to?
No.
Roll? Okay.
All
right, yeah,
then something I don't.
Then he grabs you and takes you to the ground.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not sure that was necessary, but I love you.
Oh, well. Good thing to say in each other's arms.
All right. Well, I know I said he was your friend, but I don't know if I'm that much of a friend. So I'll ask you.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I love you. Better safe than sorry, I always say.
All right. Did I take damage from that?
No,
Okay.
it was very gentle speech.
Yeah, he kind of had his hand behind your head as he lowered you.
I
Gave you a
love
little
him
kiss
after
on the
all.
forehead.
I love him after all.
Why did you do that, Nico?
I was just scared. It's
Okay.
a very spooky place.
Okay. It's okay, that's fair. But the door is slightly ajar, and you guys are back on your feet.
Okay.
I think Rogar should go first.
I think you should.
Rogar cannot check for traps. Just so we're clear.
I'm just saying, but raise your hands, everyone who is wearing plate mail. Anybody? Anybody who is wearing plate mail? Anybody? No, that's Rogar. Looks to me. Okay.
Listen, we had to do the YMCA to open this door. I'm pretty sure plate mail's not going to protect us.
You do not know. The village people never wore.
Okay. Fine then. I will gradually nudge the door as I go in. Then go.
Why are you
slowly.
such a sour puss? Why are you being a sour puss? Just go in there. It's you're okay.
Okay.
We're
Go
here.
tickle him, Nico.
Yeah. We have your back. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So gradually, very slowly and cautiously, creep the door open.
All right. So Rogar, you put your big ass dragon claw on the door and slowly push it open.
Except for I want to do it in the way of Jurassic Park, where I reach my hand over and just kind of slowly, like.
Yeah. You do. You push it open, and when you push it open, you open up into a chamber, and it is a very there's some candles lit and things like that. It's similar to what you see in front of you. Some stairs running up. And what you see that immediately catches your attention is that leaning against the wall with a sword out is a Vistani woman. And she has a significant wound to her side that is leaking blood. She has a mash of bandages pushed against it. And she says, well, Strahd didn't have the backbone to come and finish what he started himself. Well, no worries. I'll cut you down like the mangy dogs you are. Esmeralda, the Avenir will not die begging for mercy from demons. And she kind of holds that sword up, but like her arm is shaking and it lowers back down.
Nico's gonna step forward and say, "Rest
You gotta push
easy."
past Rogar. He's in the doorway.
Oh,
Rogar will step up and say, "Whoa! We mean you no harm." And then like I'll move in so they can come in like beside me.
Okay.
As I pop in, I'll say, I may be a demon, but I am not no servant of Strahd.
Okay, Rogar, give me a persuasion roll. Do you have persuasion?
I do.
Okay.
oh, that's new to me, man. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, not 18, 15.
He still has bardic inspiration if he wanted to use it.
Yep.
I don't know if he wants to. So
You rolled a 7. You can use that bardic inspiration to increase it. You can also use your portent die.
Mm.
Up to you.
By the way, you're saying that it means I should use something.
Not at all. Not at all. No, I'm reminding you of your options. So
I think you should use something.
you do fail the persuasion roll though. So
Yeah.
I just need to know if you want to do that or not.
I don't because she's half
No
dead
problem.
and I can,
All right. So she goes, I don't believe you. She goes, you have the blood of a dragon in you. He has a dragon in the castle. Undead thing though it is. And she like spits blood up. And she goes, what? She goes, what? She goes, no, I won't die here. And she like waves her sword around. She goes, Van Richten, you weren't wrong. Everyone you love dies under the claws of monsters.
and I'll hold my shield up and I'll say, whoa! If you'll give me a second, I can heal you.
You failed your persuasion roll. She is going to attack you if you get in range.
Okay. She's like almost dead, so I kind of want to just tackle her and heal her on the way down.
You can certainly try.
Nico, I think you tackled the wrong person.
I agree.
Yeah,
we
you're
all in the
right,
room at
dude.
this
I've
point?
got another spear in me, but it's not my turn yet.
Oh, we're not doing initiative or anything. I mean, we're all in the room now, so
Okay, so uh, uh, is Rogar moved off to the side enough that I can actually step in?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I
He said
said I
that.
moved.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna step up next to his left and say, Esmeralda de Avenir, cousin. I've heard many songs about you and your bravery. You have hunted down the worst beast of our tribes, the monsters in the night that plague us all as a Vistani. You have killed them with much success, and it does my heart great trouble to see you in this state.
She kind
I
of
am Nico
squints.
Tirada. I am Nico Tirada. I am Nico.
Tirada?
I am at your service.
You
I am
are
of the
of
Bone
my
Task, the Nayat tribe.
the Naya, the bone. Give me persuasion with advantage.
Ooh.
Either one will do it.
Okay.
She said she kind of blinks. You can tell she's maybe a little delirious through the injury. She goes, a cousin, not cursed by Strahd. Hey, cousin, I tried to kill him in his castle. I used a secret entrance that Van Richten told me about. He did not even see it coming. I almost drew blood from the devil himself. And she like laughs with blood splattered on her face. She
And I'm
goes,
gonna
he was with a woman he had brought back from Valaki, a beautiful woman. I thought I would save her, but he easily defeated me, and I ran.
you ran all the way from the Castle Ravenloft to here.
She laughs. She goes, no, I used the devil's portals against him. He has them all over the land. People think that he can move about freely, but it is only because of the portals.
The portals, Esmeralda, you're speaking nonsense right now. You're delirious with pain and illusion. Please, and I'm not even going to ask her permission. I'm just going to whip up my loot and cast Cure Wounds on her
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
So it's a 1d8. Let's see, it's a first level spell. I'm all the way up to fourth. I'm going to cast it as third level.
Okay.
So that means 1d8 plus 2d8 healing for her.
All right. Then give me the
That
total.
okay. Okay, let me see here. There's my first 1d8, and then I'm rolling the other 2d8s right here. Okay.
Okay.
So that's 8 and then 11.
19.
Okay.
You see a significant amount of damage get healed from her, though she was grievously injured. So
Yes.
she is still not even beyond bloodied yet. But you did heal her significantly. And she kind of shakes her head. She seems like a little bit of lucidity returns to her face. And she looks at all of you almost for the first time. Nico, she nods at you. Thank you, cousin. That is a little better.
Well,
Those gods, that devil knows how to fight. I should have paid more attention to Van Richten when he told that story.
from Van Richten's best student, I would accept no less. Perhaps you will have information that will help us in doing the same deed. Perhaps with your aid at our side, we can finally finish the task.
Do you all stand against Strahd?
I stand against Strahd. I swore to him in his face at Rictavio and these friends at my side to defy him, to give him no quarter. Verbatim, those words came from my mouth as his magical tiger ripped into shreds as we fled Vallaki.
Oh, Bacteria is gone. I raised that little cat from a kitten. And then you see like a little tear gather on her eye and she wipes it away. She goes, it matters not now. She goes, okay, cousin, I believe you. What of your friends? I will hear it from their own mouths. Do you stand against Count Strahd von Zarovich? Will you help me kill him and end this curse? And she looks at you, Dr. Crawford.
I hope to end the curse of Strahd. The question is, do you think killing him is the way to do it?
He is a
At the
devil.
mo-
It is the only way.
Well, Professor Van Richten should hopefully be here soon, so we'll likely be able
You
to
say
discuss this
that, bro?
together.
When you say that, like her eyebrows raised, she goes, Rudolph will be here. I
He
did not know
said-
that.
We ran into him in the village of Valaki. He helped us out of a bit of a pickle over there.
If you got insight, give me an insight 14.
Can I roll a 2 or just him?
Yes. Okay. So, Dr. Crawford, you notice that when you say that he's coming, she looks like surprised. But Rogar, what you see in her face is this complex mix of emotions. There is like surprise, there's hope, there's fear, but she looks to be having some really confusing emotions about the fact, but mainly surprise. She didn't know he was coming here.
Well,
But continue, Dr. Crawford. I just wanted to do that roll.
okay. Well, at the very least, since he's going to be arriving soon, we had intended on entering this tower to secure it, to make sure it would be a safe place for him to arrive. I think he and our party as well have some very angry vampiric beings on our trail. So, have you explored the rest of this tower? Did you just get here? What sort of situation are we walking into?
I have been here for a couple of weeks. I came to this tower because Professor Richten, said that when he was here nearly 20 years ago, this was his base of operations from which he launched his assault on Count Strahd and nearly killed the devil back then. So I came here and set up my own base of operations, intending to do the same thing that Professor Van Richten did in his youth. I was not prepared for Strahd's ferocity. He is truly a devil.
Yes.
But I have made sure he could not use the teleportation circle in the basement to follow me.
Well done.
Well done.
I used it to get into Castle Ravenloft, but when I came back through, injured though I was, I am a bit of an expert at explosives, and I had pre-rigged it, and I set off the charges. I bought us some time.
Out of character, this lady is going to kill us by accident.
Esmeralda, you have no doubt skill in combat. There are so many questions, so many things that I want to talk to you about. But first, since we are blood, since we're cousins, can you please allow one of us to heal you further?
If you trust them, cousin, then I will extend my trust.
I trust Rogar. Rogar, will you please continue to finish the healing that I began on Esmeralda here? She's the prize student of Van Richten.
I'll look at you and I'll nod, and then I'll walk up to her cautiously and ask her to put her small little pointer sword away.
Her toothpick.
Yeah, put your toothpick away.
She does. Give me, since you're close to her now, give me a perception roll, Rogar.
Okay.
Just beat a 14.
All right. Yeah, I don't have it, so.
Roll at disadvantage.
Yep.
Can I help him with perception?
Not this one.
Okay.
I can add a 1 to it, but it doesn't look
Okay.
it's gonna matter.
Okay. Yeah, all I'll give you with that is like you start to kind of put your hands on her, and then you start to put your hand kind of like on her side and on her leg, and then like when you start to touch her leg, she pulls away real suddenly, like, don't touch my leg. But she lets you touch her side.
All right. And I don't know how much I need to heal her. Like what?
She's not even blood. I mean, she's still bloodied even after the healing that Nico did.
All right. So I mean, let's try to heal her to full.
Okay.
Tell her
so
to say when and just keep pouring the goodness on until then.
Yeah. Well, she won't let me touch her legs, so I don't know how much goodness there will be. But we'll
It's like the freaking waiter at the restaurant when he's grinding the cheese on your salad. He tells you to tell him to stop.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Well,
I'll never be able to have cheese grated on my shit again without thinking about that.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go with the cheese grater method.
Okay.
Tell me when you feel
All
better.
right. All right. How many charges do you have?
I got 35.
She takes it all, dude.
Okay.
And it puts her beyond, like, just above bloody.
Okay.
So she takes 35 healing. She's actually breathing normal again. She takes a flask out of her jacket and drinks a little bit. Hands it to you, Rogar.
Oh,
It's the least I can do.
I'll take a swig.
yeah.
It's good shit. It's actually good
Yeah.
whiskey that is not from Barovia. There's no effing way it's from Barovia.
Damn.
And she just says,
Vistani indeed.
she goes, keep it. And yeah, so it's about a half full flask of premium whiskey.
All right.
And she says, please let me. I'll answer any questions you have if they're important, but I'd like to rest a little bit. I don't know how much time we have before Strahd figures out where I am. He can't follow me through the teleportation circle, but his eyes are all over this land. And now that he knows that I am here, I believe he will come for me.
I understand, but perhaps some information that would do you good in your rest and your quest for rest is that in the cathedral in Vallaki, when we met Rictavio, we actually saw
Who is this
true fear.
Rictavio you keep talking about?
It's the
Rictavio.
professor.
It's the professor, Rudolph
She
and
starts
Richten.
laughing. Was he an elf?
At first, yes.
He always
At
talked
first,
about
yes.
doing that disguise.
He really tricked me because I just got done being lashed in the square of Vallaki just for my race, just for who I was. I
What?
made a mistake. I revealed my
You made
true
a
form
mistake
as-
of being Vistana?
I did. All Vistani are
Dude, you see
outlaws
this
in Vallaki.
rage. No, you see this rage come over her face. She stands up, even though she kind of has to put her hand on the wall to stay herself. She goes, "We will go to Vallaki and we will whip every one of them in the square."
We cannot do this yet. Of course we will. Of course we will. Everyone who is aligned with Strahd, we will. Cousin, please, I'm trying to comfort you. Listen, I saw true, genuine fear on the devil's face in the cathedral. He was trying to tear this place apart. He almost killed every one of us there until Professor Rudolph and Richten showed up. And then he recoiled in fear. He saw Van Richten. He saw him and he knew who he was. He even called out to him by name and he knew that he could hurt him. So
Do you know why, cousin?
I do not know. I do not know.
I will
I'm trying
tell
to
you.
piece
I will
together-
tell all of you. Because Professor Rudolph van Richten, nearly 25 years ago, as a young man, came to Barovia. He spent months in this very tower, gathering reconnaissance, learning everything he could and about Count Strahd in this land, adding it to his already formidable knowledge of the undead. And he prepared the perfect attack on Count Strahd van Zarovich himself in the heart of his power in Castle Ravenloft himself, using the very same teleportation circle in this tower that I used. He nearly killed Strahd, but he could not finish the job. And with the help of our people, he escaped. The reason Strahd showed fear when he saw my mentor is because my mentor is the only enemy Strahd van Zarovich has faced who nearly ended his damned existence. And now he's come back to Barovia to finish what he started in his youth. But I fear that he has overestimated his own enemy's powers. Thus I came to help. But I have not been able to find him since I came here. And I'm not sure, based on the terms we separated last time we talked, that he would even want my help.
Well, you know, cousin, that we do not believe in coincidence. It is fitting that we are here now at your time of need, both with you and the professor. And knowing what I know about you, I look forward to the battles that we will engage together.
Cheers, cousin. As Professor Van Richten said to me in my youth of hot-bloodedness, hot Vistana bloodedness, one should not look forward to any battle. And yet I do share your enthusiasm. And she kind of winks at you.
You're an inspiration to me.
She says, is there anything else? I would like to rest. You should
Yes.
perhaps investigate the tower to see if there's anything of help. We will need to be out soon.
Get your rest. Just when
Yes.
when you're ready, when you're feeling better, I hope we can count on your assistance in protecting the professor. We have to keep him alive. There's something I'm afraid might happen if he falls that we cannot afford to risk. And we could
I
use
will
your assistance.
protect Professor Rudolph Van Richten with my life, and I will come back from the afterlife to help him if I had to.
Well, let's hope that's not necessary. But yes, let's. We'll graciously accept your assistance. Gentlemen, why don't we let this good lady rest and we begin investigating the tower, unless you have anything else you wish to ask her.
I
We
just
yeah,
want to
we
ask
should-
if that's her carriage out front or out back or out wherever.
It is indeed my Vardo.
Okay.
You did not try to go into it, did you?
I did
No,
not.
not at all.
Oh, good. It would be very bad if you did.
Of course it would. I just looked upon it and I said, no, this is very bad. Let's go to the tower. I was just saying this, was I not? I was like, we should leave that Vardo alone. I did not
Yes,
even
I
try.
believe my words were, this is probably
Yes.
somebody's house.
Of course. Yeah, the Vardo is a home on wheels. It is great. We should probably call it a recreational vehicle because you can drive in it and sleep in it. It's good. It's good. I was just saying this.
I just have one question, just because I'm a admirer of magic. When you summon these horses, are they regular horses? Are they unicorns? Are they dinosaurs?
I paid a great sum to have the Vardo enchanted. It is, they are, I believe, composed of what you call the weave, the magic. It is a conjuration. They are neither good nor bad. They are simply magical constructs.
Be very interested to see that.
I'm sure you will. When Professor Van Richten gets here, we will, after I disarm the traps, we will load up. We will head out. It would be fast travels. Though where we will go from here, I do not know.
Rocky, can I make it a perception roll on the armor she's wearing? Anything that would tie her to where I already have suspicions, being a Vistani,
Mhm.
what tribe she belongs to, but more of an
Certainly.
identity.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to make a perception check, and I'll leave it up to you what the threshold will be.
15.
To be. Okay. Please, come on, baby. Come on. Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. Not tonight. Okay.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
Oh god, it is. It is. I want to say it anyway. Not tonight. I didn't pass it. All right.
She says to you guys that the tower is not that large. She has not explored it much. She feels like it's been picked through before. It's a very old tower, almost as old as Barovia itself. But if you can give her about an hour to rest, that would be great. And it would be time well spent. As far as she knows, there's no traps that are apparent. She's looked through it, and it's not like you're going to step on a step and like a spike will hit you or anything. The only thing she does tell you is that as far as she knows, magic that was not part of the castle itself does not work here. That's not like a clerical type magic.
At that when she says that, I go to cast one of my cantrips real quick just to kind of test it.
Doesn't work.
Minor illusion real quick, and it's okay.
Yep.
So is there any way we can close this door we just walked through?
Seals right behind you.
Okay, and it seals right behind
Well,
us.
there is a door. There's like a door knob on this side, which is weird.
Okay, yeah, we're just pulling that tight. Love it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can we
Professor
put a
said to meet
security-
us here. He probably knows how to open the door. So
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna
I'd
say,
say
can
so.
we put a security camera out there so we capture you doing the dance?
Yep.
No, it's just the Amazon dude. He just dropped off a package.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
Alright,
let's
But,
do it.
but I think somebody that can do traps might want to be in front of me.
all right.
Dr. Crawford is great
All
with traps.
All right, I'll
All
take out the everlit lantern and I'll lead the way, I guess.
All right. Well, she did tell you that as far as she knows, there's no traps.
Yeah, I'm not expecting anything, but even
So,
then,
but you do walk around the corner and you're like super floored by what you see. You see a platform with giant chains, and on each side of this platform, holding a chain in their arms, are these clay constructs. And as you walk around the corner, you hear Esmeralda yell, "Kazan is the word. If you say Kazan, they will pull the chains."
Kazan.
they're on a platform held up by chains. What am I misunderstanding about them needing to pull the chains?
So
did I miss something?
there's just this platform, and then there's a hole in the ceiling above, and the chains run up through the ceiling. It's like an elevator. And,
Oh, so them pulling the chains raises the platform up for us to walk
Yeah.
across.
Okay.
All right. I look over with Kazan.
Okay. So you say Kazan, and they are all of you getting on the platform?
I don't know. My brothers. She is a Vistani. We cannot
I
trust
trust
her.
her.
We cannot trust her.
She knows the professor. I trust her.
I'm getting on the platform. I'm enthralled.
Anyone
by
not
this.
getting on the platform?
Is there a
No.
weight limit on this platform?
Held up
If
my
there
golems.
was, you'd be pushing it.
Yeah.
So you get on this platform, and just these golems just start pulling the chains, and this dust kind of falls from the ceiling, but the platform starts to raise, and you go up to the next level of the tower, and it's a living quarters. There's a room kind of like this. You can see that maybe recently someone slept here, probably Esmeralda, right? But there's very minimal going on here. There's a lot of dust and cobwebs all around the dressers and the drawers. The walls broken down in certain parts, so you can kind of see out on the forest and the lake. Very drafty in here, but you can say Kazan and keep going up, or you can get out and investigate this room.
What do you guys think?
Let's take a look, man.
Let's take a look.
I want to go look out the balcony.
We're
very beautiful.
essentially above the table. We're essentially killing time till Duber gets here anyway. So
Yeah.
He is not Duber. He is Rudolph and Richten.
And remember, guys, we also have Vistani coming for us, so that's why I would like to go and just kind of see if I can do something.
You got a good
outside the
point there.
window.
Just saying, it's not just the brides we got to worry about. It's people who could probably get in as well. Yeah.
Right. So let's
But we have the Bruce Lee of Vistani right in the bottom floor, and she's healed almost to full. So I'm not tripping at this point.
But I would like to see if they're coming.
Badass.
I'd like to step on the balcony and look.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
okay, well I'll get off here and kind of look around this room if you guys
Okay.
want to go up.
Are you gonna split in the party? Or are you gonna stay all together and
Oh no, we're gonna stay together. Yes.
All right, then everybody give me an investigation roll. If you don't have it, roll it at disadvantage.
Coming
All
right
right.
up, Rocky.
Coming on.
Don't worry about the to be. How you roll will determine what happens.
Ooh,
16 for
I
Dr.
have
Crawford.
that.
Shit.
Do you
Got a
have
4
it?
for Nico.
Oh, 4 for Nico. Okay.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay. You can burn an inspiration and turn it into a nat 20.
Yeah, let's do that. I like it.
Okay. All right. So I got a nat 20 for Nico. I've got a 16 for Dr. Crawford. I've got a What's your modifier there, Ruger?
It's 8. It's -1.
Okay, got it. And then Disdain, you got a 12.
Yep.
Okay. So Disdain, you find a potion of healing in an old
Woohoo.
drawer. It's 2d4 plus 4 is how much it
2d4
heals.
plus 4.
Okay. Dr. Crawford, you find a potion of heroism.
Okay.
This gives you 10 temporary hit points for 1 hour, and you get to add a d4 to all of your d20s.
I got a buff potion.
It's a mongoose, dude.
Nico,
Give me
with
what I
your-
crave.
you found a set of arrows, 10 arrows bound up, kind of under some clothes. And these arrows have a little like ribbon wrapped around them. No, these arrows are +1 arrows. So when you use these 10 arrows to shoot from your bow, they get a +1 to attack and a +1 to damage, and they're considered magical damage.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
But that's not what really draws your attention with that nat 20. What draws your attention is that tied to the end of that string wrapping around the arrows is a ring that has a ruby shaped like fire on the ring.
I'm gonna turn to Disdain. Say, Disdain, I found these arrows, but there is a ring attached to them. Can you tell me more about these?
I would roll Arcana on it, I assume.
I hope so.
If you want to try to determine what it is, if you're not casting Identify, it's just a high Arcana roll to see what it is.
Okay. $24.
Oh, you got it. This is a ring of warmth. While you wear the ring of warmth, you take half damage from cold damage, and you cannot be forced into exhaustion in a cold environment.
Love it. Love it.
I feel like Rocky's prepping us for Nax.
Oh god, it's so much worse than Nax, but I will take
Maybe.
it. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Okay, that's what you guys find. We got about 24 minutes left in the session, so let's keep rolling. One other thing. There's a fireplace in this room, and as the others are kind of looking around, Rogar, in Disdain, Rogar, I guess, because Disdain found the potion. You pick up some of the ashes because you see that there's some very old parchment in the ashes, and you pick it up, and it seems to be some type of journal, but you can only make out the words Van Richten and a few random words. Just kind of a curious thing, not anything you can really interpret or do anything with, but some burned pages that have the word Van Richten on them.
Okay, I'll tell the group that, and then we'll move on.
Anything else?
I want to step on the balcony and do a.
Okay. So you look out on the balcony, and kind of like I said before, like you're able to look out, and you see this the lake, you see the forest, starting to get dark.
All right, and so there's nothing of movement that I'm seeing in the forest behind or anything like that. All right.
Yeah.
Can I yell, "Come get me, you filthy animal"? No, I'm joking.
You can certainly do that if you want to.
No.
All right. Anything else?
Let's do the Jefferson thing and move on up.
Yep.
All right. So you get back on the platform and say Kazan, and it goes up to this like kind of storage level. There's a lot of crates. Most of them are busted open. Looks like maybe at one time it stored food. other supplies, but it's long since been abandoned. You guys want to get off and investigate, or you want to keep going?
I do. I want to get off
Yeah,
and investigate.
let's take a peek. Yeah, let's take a
Do it.
peek.
Let's just
All right.
make sure it's at least secure. Nothing hiding in the barrel.
All right. So for this one, I need a 20.
Oh shit. All right. So and that is insight or perception?
Investigation.
Investigation. Okay.
If you don't have it, roll disadvantage.
Okay.
You know what? I'm rolling an inspiration on this. This is.
All right.
I'm tired of these bad rolls.
Yeah, ever since you switched over to that new system, your rolls have been low.
I know, and it's giving me different results every time. It's just they're all low.
Yeah. Damn. Do you want to use your you rolled a 19? Do you want to reuse any of your like you have that bless ability? You have
Okay, yeah. So let me refresh my memory of how that works. So it's not the one time period. It's once per day. I can add a
once
one
per
D4
long
or something?
rest.
Actually, I'll use my Can I use my inspiration on my roll? The one
Yes.
that because that'll get me above 20.
Inspiration or portent die.
The one from Nico.
Oh, the bar.
That's been more. It's been more than 10 minutes after that
Yeah.
conversation with.
That's a good point. Like, what would my
Yeah.
portent die get me?
Yeah, mine was the same. I'm gonna use inspiration. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
If you don't get it, I'll blow my portent die, and we'll just see.
There we are.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
All
Paid
right,
off.
good job. All right.
Very nice, roll.
All right. So so Disdain, you're like poking around, man, and like you know, there's nothing here. This is an old larder. There's nothing else. There's nothing here. Until you see that like under a massive pile of broken crates, there's a small gleam of bronze. And you ask Rogard to maybe come over and help you get the debris off because it's a lot. And you guys spend about 10 minutes just clearing this debris away. And you pull this bowl out that has magical runes carved into it.
I guess I'll do an Arcana check on it.
Yep. Beat an 18.
All right.
Dude.
I'm gonna use that roll thing, the dice.
Portent.
Yeah, the portent. It's 12, so.
Okay. So you use the portent that you got from Arabelle, and now you have a 19. And so you know that this is a magical item known as an everlasting ewer, E-W-E-R. If you pour any liquid into this bowl, it's about a gallon's worth of liquid, it will turn into a good wine. And you can do this once per 24 hours.
It's what again? Sorry.
An everlasting ewer, E-W-E-R.
W-E-R. All right.
It
And
can
any
produce
liquid?
any liquid will turn into a gallon of high quality wine once per day, once per 24 hours.
Amazing.
You can imagine that's a pretty useful item.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you guys find. There's really nothing else in this room.
Jefferson's time. Let's go on up.
All right. So you guys say Kazan again, and it takes you to the very top floor. There's a lot of old busted bottles of what probably used to hold potions and spell components. There's decayed books and scrolls that are unreadable. There is a telescope that is on the top there, and it is kind of looking out. The sun has set. It's kind of nighttime, but there's still a little bit of that moonlight out there that's giving you some vision. But what's interesting about that telescope is that it's almost like built into the stonework itself. So it's not like this telescope's just sitting there. Like it's actually somehow been grafted into the stonework of the building itself, and you do see some runes etched on it as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm paranoid
like
as
it.
hell about the Vistani, so I'm gonna make an investigation or right away, like over there, because I'm assuming it's gonna be night vision, and I also have my own dark vision, so with that.
Okay, so what are
So,
you investigating on it?
well, I guess I'll do an Arcana roll just to make sure I'm not gonna blow it up in my face, but
Need a 16.
nope.
You've never seen something like this.
I'll take a crack at it. You said Arcana, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
So the runes are absolutely enchantment runes, and there's some divination even etched into the scope itself. But the
Damn.
attachment that's holding it basically makes it so that if it's removed from the structure of the tower itself, it'll just crumble to dust. But if you
I'll
look into
reiterate
it,
that. Yeah.
there's no evil mojo on this. If you look into this telescope, it will give you you can look in on almost any part of Barovia that faces to the east.
What the?
Damn, which is like everywhere. It's like Valaki. It's Ravenloft.
Okay. Is there a limited use per day thing on that, or
You don't know from that roll, because Arcana can't give you the specifics that Identify can. The spell identifies, so which you can't cast in here anyway. So
I have something I'd like to check,
Okay.
gentlemen. Would you guys, after I reiterated everything you told me to the group, I was actually curious to see if when we left Lady Irina, we told her to leave that red handkerchief on her windowsill if she thought she was in mortal danger.
Mhm.
I'd like to see if that's there or not. Would you guys think we should risk using this, or I don't know if there's a limited amount of uses on this or not. So
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's worth it because the chick downstairs said there was a girl with him from
Who had
Valaki.
who had been taken to Ravenloft a couple weeks ago.
yeah, if that's
Yeah.
Irina, then her putting that handkerchief up would indicate whether this is a mortal danger or she's going along with his plans thing. So let's.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to take a look. I'm going to see if I can line this up with the Walker house and see if I can see the red handkerchief we told her to let her hang from the window.
Dr. Crawford, you turn inspiration, by the way. You turn you use the magic of this telescope, and you find Lady Walker's manor. And the telescope goes at angles that a normal telescope can't even see. It just sort of whooshes until it's on her window. And you do indeed see a red handkerchief on the side
Fuck.
of the window.
Fuck.
Ah.
This is my fault. I pushed for this. All right. That woman trusted us. We have after we assist Professor Van Richten in formulating a plan, we have a duty to assist that woman.
So
you're talking to the party, telling them that, and then you start to hear noises from the forest, and you almost like impulsively whip down and look down at the forest, Dr. Crawford, and you see figures in the forest moving towards the tower, shambling, several figures. And then through the mist, you see a figure emerge on a horse.
Esmeralda Diabonir, Count Strahd Manzarovich himself has decreed you unworthy of even undeath. Your flesh will be flayed from your bones, Come forth and receive thy judgment, witch.
And you watch as this man on this horse steps into the clearing at the end of the lead bridge, and these shambling figures start to fan out behind him. And that's where we end tonight's session.
Oh, dude.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Oh. It's gonna be so fun whooping his ass, dude. It's just gonna be a good time. It will be.
Great session, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That was a ride tonight.
That was a ride. That was a ride.
That was a ride.
Getting
It
intense.
was it was a ride right into a siege, right into an undead siege. Is what that was. Yeah, we're under siege, boys. All right.
All right. Well, let's think about what we're gonna do. Next Sunday, tentatively, as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've
Well,
already got a plan. I've already got a plan. It's gonna be great.
I know you
Okay.
do.
It's gonna be great.
Love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got
All right.
I've got a plan also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it involve smashing undead with holy power?
No, it involves magic horses and a bomb carriage.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
See
Don't
Hey,
be
hey! I know y'all
giving
new. I know
Rocky-
y'all are new to D&D, but don't tell the DM.
Don't
what
tell the
plan
DM
is.
what's this. He's like, he's like, you wield that carriage.
That
just
fucking
turned
wheel's
out-
gonna be broke on that Bardo, man.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? He's like, y'all didn't roll investigation on the vials. It's just salt in there. It
That's
looked
right.
magical.
Yeah,
It's
it
salt.
looked
It doesn't.
it.
Salt doesn't ignite.
Just a
That's
wind
what's
chime.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.